Hey everyone, welcome to the IMO podcast. My name is Maurice. We have a super spicy show lined up for you guys today. Words are hard, so just give me a minute to calm down.
You're getting better.
I am. Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce us.
All right. So, already up here, man. You fucking know. I'm joined with my co-host today, Andre, Flanora, Jared. I ain't forgetting you guys' names, and we have a special guest today as well.
Howdy.
Nigga, if you don't let me finish talking,
what?
Nigga,
you are worse. And we have a special guest today, Pam. Pam, say hello.
Hey.
And everybody else gonna say hello.
Yo.
I just did.
No, yours didn't count. Didn't count yours.
What?
I didn't ask you to repeat it. I asked you to tell me what it was.
Okay.
What?
it's spicy.
Is
it?
Spicy.
It is spicy.
It's spicy.
Yeah,
It's
well,
spicy
I mean, it is giving me indigestion, but that doesn't mean that it was okay to say that.
You're not.
I mean,
that funny.
not...
I feel like I shouldn't have laughed at that because it kind of like boosted your ego a little bit more than it should have. No.
No.
Oh, there was a G in that? Oh, now I'm really concerned.
Y'all don't remember that meme of the white guy who was pointing a gun to his mirror in the bathroom, and he was just
Was that the one?
Am I the only one
YouTuber? Was that the YouTuber?
I remember a meme of like a white guy or some shit pointing a gun in the mirror with the wrong magazine, basically saying "Thug Life" or some shit.
That was the same guy, and he was super skinny, right?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the same guy.
I don't remember the grata though.
He said grata.
Oh, wait a minute. I saw him on Tosh.0, and he had he was like one of the
Was he that streamer named is it that Naruto streamer dude? That one that reviews the manga, or is it somebody completely different?
That could be anybody, son.
That's true. What was his name? Double for Anime. That was it.
Never heard of him.
Okay.
Same.
All right, that's number 3. That's 3 weeks. No one gets anything. Maurice says.
It's not our fault that you come up with these obscure references.
It's not obscure.
See, I didn't say obscure. I didn't say all that.
It's a bit obscure.
She said it, but I didn't. Okay.
Anyways, we got Smite in the background. We're gonna get into the first topic. Lion King cast announced. Flanora, can you run through that? Because I actually forgot to list it down. I know Donald Glover's there. They're recasting James Earl Jones as Mufasa.
And that's all you really need to know, to be honest with you.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I kind of like the cast list that they had because it's like I do this all the time. It's like when you say like, oh, who could be the best fit, and like I can't think on the top of my head, but when like people post it, it's like, oh my god, yes. So they have. Hold on, let me pull up the list a second.
Honestly, I think I would have rather Michael B. Jordan as a Simba.
Okay. I was surprised they got what's his name?
Donald Glover.
No, not Donald Glover. That nigga's in everything.
That nigga is in everything.
Okay, let him be in everything. Let him be the new Samuel Jackson. God.
But then again, Michael B. Jordan is kind of in everything too, though.
Yeah, he's just like one of those like actors. They're just in everything now. But they got James Earl Jones to recast his role. Is that the right verbiage?
To reprise
his role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so we have. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't see anybody else doing it, to be honest.
I love me some James Earl Jones, Star Wars, Lion King. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I do think they could do whatever they want with the movie. They're probably taking a different direction. I think he's a little bit too old to be playing Mufasa.
Okay, but that's the point. Mufasa's supposed to be up in age.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
You about to tell me that you think that Mufasa was old? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, because you have okay.
How do you know the age conversion rate?
Isn't Scar older?
I mean, I don't know the age conversion, but I know he wasn't 75. Like,
okay, but
like, and James Earl Jones is pushing like 75. Like,
let him be.
He still got a deep voice. I mean,
James Earl Jones is old, son.
But he got a deep voice, though. That's what counts.
Yeah, and that's why he played. That's why he did a lot of voice work. Now you have him in a world where we actually have to see him. And
Wait, I thought it was like 3D animated, not.
No, it's
it's live action. It says it's live action.
For real? Was Jungle Book live action?
Yes.
Yes.
Even though it had all the 3D animals, they ain't doing that.
It was. Yes.
Well, okay, yeah, but you had like a real boy.
Son, James Earl Jones is 86. Oh my God. How are they supposed to film a scene with like? Because I'm assuming that they're still going to do the whole Mufasa death scene. So that means Simba was a kid. How are they going to film a young version of James Earl Jones? No, son. No.
I think
CGI could do. Yeah. Like, remember in Civil War, and they had like a younger Iron Man, a younger Tony Stark.
Have you rewatched Civil War recently? I actually watched it last weekend. The CGI didn't hold up all that well.
I mean, if anything, with CGI, because I remember with Captain America, they made him look extremely scrawny and shit, and then they changed it to make him buff as fuck, or back to where he was.
And I will admit, it did work. That for that one scene in Civil War, it did work for the time being. Because I was like, how the hell did they do that? A year later, I'm going, ooh, that did not age. Ooh, no, that did not age well. It didn't. But yeah, I like James Earl Jones. Just I don't know, son. For a physical role. And he's 86, which means he's not going to be doing much of anything. And Mufasa, and Maurice brought up a good point. Like, how can you tell how old Mufasa was? If I had to guess, I wouldn't say. If I had to put him into like real, like human age, I would say that Mufasa was like no older than like 40.
I would give him enough time.
I'd go closer to 50.
Really? I mean, okay, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I can't really challenge you on that. I'm just saying I don't think that he's like he wasn't 86. Let's put it that way. Because at 86, Jesus, what can you do? Because there's going to be some type of action in this. I would hope so.
I don't think it's going to be.
They'll pull it off some way.
Actors. I think it's just going to be.
It says live action.
I mean, Jungle Book was live action, so what are we really talking about? Like,
so you're saying like they're gonna do CGI of then that's not really live action and it's just 3D.
Piggybacking off of Andre's point, James Earl Jones is like 86. Like,
okay,
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Look, they just put out the cast. They haven't put like all the details yet. So we have John Oliver as Zazu. We have Billy Urcher as Timon. Is it Timon?
Timon.
Oh
wow.
My God!
It's been a while.
Are you sure you're Timon?
Oh God. Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry. Okay, you have Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
That was a good pick.
Got that right. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. They don't have Scar listed yet.
I'm voting Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. No one else. I accept no one else.
Elba. He's gotta be black, son.
Oh, true. Zazu ain't black, so I mean.
But he wasn't a lion.
So all lions are black? Is that what you're saying?
In this context, yes.
I mean, it's technically in Africa, so.
I'm voting for Idris Elba.
Idris Elba would be cool.
Just put him in everything, son.
He ain't lying. Like, Pam,
what was that show? Everything.
Pam, what was that show we were watching with Idris Elba in it?
No, I'm thinking I can picture the dude in my head, but I can't think of his name. He was in he first appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy. And he was like the first guy Star-Lord was like fighting up against after he stopped. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
No.
Like
I know him. He's usually the bad guy in other movies. He's played in
he's dating Heidi Klum now. Wait a minute, Heidi.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, she has a type.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Finger to the
Finger
to the throat means death.
So that's his name. I swear to God, it's just who.
No, it's finger to the throat, man. What do you mean?
I'm Star-Lord. Who? Like what? in space. He's crazy. Why is he African in space? Like,
You are abusing your keyboard, by the way.
Hey, yo,
where's the
chill,
accent?
Right.
You're in space. Holy shit.
Yo, why am I laughing at this?
Because it's true. Like, who? That was his only line in the movie.
Was it Jamon Houso? I completely butchered his name, but y'all know.
Yeah,
y'all know
the
who I'm talking
African
about.
from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, we know. He also played in Never Back Down. Why I like that movie.
Oh yeah, he did. I remember that
It was
line.
not.
Like, do you
it was
want
not
to
a
push
good
your
movie.
opponent, or do you want to kill him? He didn't say
That was
kill,
so
but it was
fucking
close to it.
That line is stupid. I remember that line.
He punched a hole in a sandbag.
The movie was stupid. All right,
But he punched a hole
that
in
movie
the
was
sandbag.
dumb, but I like it.
Wait,
It was
was
the
it-
right. Huh?
No, was he the first one? Or the
It was the first one.
Oh, okay, no, that was a different Black Guy.
And it was like that one scene. We're going to go off on a tangent, but it was this one scene where he's like the white guy, because the black guy has to train the white guy. The white guy was trying to like kick the heavy bag and he couldn't make it move. And this dude just breathed in and he moved the holy hell out of this heavy bag with his kick. It was actually pretty inspirational. Too bad the rest of the movie sucked. So yeah, so Idris Elba, Scar. There we go. There you have it.
Okay, I already said my pick.
Yeah, I don't think we can do Willem Dafoe, Maurice, because he's white. All lions got to be black in this movie.
That's racist.
Nigga,
It's
what?
not. Have you not seen the play?
I'm
Have you not seen the
you
Lion King
guys
play?
Have not detected sarcasm.
Okay, well maybe this will
Okay.
make sense. If
Okay.
if
I am
if Donald
literally
Glover is
joking.
black
I am
and James Earl
literally
Jones,
joking. I am joking.
look, we don't know, all right.
I am
We
telling
can't
you,
tell
I am
by your
joking.
tone.
I am
We
telling you,
honestly
I am
could not.
joking. Once I realized you didn't realize I was joking.
Thank you, son, because
Okay.
we was about to rip you another one, son.
I feel you. It's
True.
okay.
Damn.
Willem Dafoe's a good actor, though. I just want to throw it up.
I mean, no one's
he's a
arguing
beautiful
with you.
He's a beautiful actor. It was a firefight. Yeah,
Last piece of news before we get into the actual show, though. Misty and Brock got retconned, destroyed, annihilated, removed from the property without any
Who
like
the fuck
bag.
cares about Pokemon?
People care.
Ouch.
If they want to
Yeah.
retcon anything, let them retcon stuff in Pokemon. He's 10 years old after all these years. I don't even think he wants to become a Pokemon master anymore. He's just doing shit. Like I don't really
Well, no,
care.
I think it's essentially a reboot. That's why it's important.
A reboot?
You're rebooting Pokemon?
Kinda. It was like
Bruh.
it was like the
Oh.
movie.
Pass.
Bruh.
Pass.
Bruh.
Okay, in the
So
reboot, are they actually gonna let Ash age and actually reach his goal?
It's just a movie.
But they could have did that with the current one.
They could
I
have
don't
done that with
see-
the current show. But this is just
And
a
the-
movie. You can tell because the
Okay.
production looks a lot better than the anime.
Okay, just making sure because I would actually like to continue with the continuity they have. Because May is Bay.
Hey.
May is Bay. You saw
Hey,
the
bro.
first crush right there. May is Bay.
May is Bay. May
In
is
my
Bay.
ass.
I just realized
10.
what you were saying.
10 my ass.
10 out of
But yeah, how do you feel about this, Maurice? How's it? As the
I'm in Europe.
Pokemon
I really
fan.
don't care. I mean, if they want to do whatever they want with the IP.
You have the same opinion as me? we agree?
Oh, no, it's amazing.
Hey, am I on the right podcast? Hold on. What?
Nah, this is we're Rooster Teeth apparently. Son. This is shout out to Rooster Teeth. Yeah, they can do whatever the hell they want. It's just Pokemon. Nobody.
Hey, yo, someone write this down. I'll write this down that they agreed, yo. We need to keep track
Oh,
of this.
wow. Okay.
This don't happen every day.
It really doesn't.
Sure enough, doesn't. And you should see like our day-to-day lives. You should see our You should see our actual friendship. It's really bizarre.
Plays Tekken. Yo, Josie is broken. Law just is stupid. Fuck you. Fuck you.
And look, man, it may be your playstyle that's bullshit. Then
It's not my playstyle, so I don't.
Keep going.
We're not gonna get into this. We're not getting into this right now.
Just keep going, son. Just keep going.
I
Cause
keep
you do that in
telling
a lot of. You do that in a lot of video games you play, son.
Son, it's
That's
not
your
my fault.
playstyle.
You don't know how to block them. Of course, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
No, I'm talking about your playstyle of just going in on everything. You realize you do that a lot, right?
I need to go in.
But that's the point.
I play Titan and Destiny.
Yes, it is.
I play Titan
You
and
expect
Destiny.
him to show mercy?
Right.
Flo, there's sometimes when you have to wait out and see that. Well, perfect example. We were playing League of Legends, right? This nigga would not stop going into the fucking.
That's what I do.
Hold up. I have a question about that. I got a question about that. Maurice, were you playing Shyvana?
Of course, I was playing Shyvana.
Yo, Andre, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
It's in my blood.
Yo,
it's the fact. How do you know he plays Shyvana?
Because, bruh, I asked him about League of Legends one time, and that's the only word I heard after. Yeah, I don't play
That's literally the only the game isn't League of Legends to him. The game is Shyvana to him. That is pretty much. This man will pick Shyvana into anything except for support. I think he played.
I was told. I was heavily told not to do that, and I don't have anything to support. So
it was more like we wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this nigga went nuts. Like we're over here in the base planning shit. This nigga Maurice is in mid tower. All right, guys, I'm going in. Like, hey, no, we're not following you. Okay, I'm going in. Like, the entire team is at Dragon, and he's just like getting the story. No, I got it, and he just dies. I'm like,
yeah, it's in my blood. I think I learned how to control it. That's the thing. You can't just go in all willy nilly.
When we're playing Destiny, this nigga's just running around, just tackling the shit everybody.
I am a fucking Titan. What do you need me to do? Like, what do you want? Only play passive?
Well, in Destiny 2, you can put up that fucking shield.
I'm still going in.
Okay.
All right. Did we talk about that? So, no one cares. Misty and Brock. Cast for Lion King. Woo! So let's get into the actual topic for today. So the major topics what we do everyone's top 5 cartoons. That's why we brought Pam in. She's special guest. And
from a certain time period.
Thank you, Andre. So from 2002 to up, cartoons only. For the most part, I think it's just going to be like American stuff that we grew up watching. I'm not sure what everyone's list looked like, but it's pretty much like it should only be American only, I think. Let's see, we're going to go around the table with everyone's 5 pick and explain why. We are welcome to debate it, but, just give everyone their chance to talk, basically. And, we should have some fun, reminiscing, nostalgia, hopefully opening some eyes and not crushing dreams like Maurice's. Cause...
we're most likely going to debate the shit out of everybody's first pick.
Okay.
So I got a feeling we all pick something different, except me and you, Maurice. I think we see eye to eye on this one thing right here.
This one thing. Oh, true.
Don't let me down, son.
Alright, so who wants to start it off, basically? So just basically say what your 5 pick is, and just explain why you like it, and then we'll just go around talking about it, and hopefully we'll just keep them keep it on the short side, but also give a lot of detail as well.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I guess I could go first.
Yep.
My number 5 pick, of course, I'll be the sacrificial lamb.
Not sacrificial.
All right. So, all right. So my first pick, my number 5 is Kids Next Door. I really like this show because, it just showed like these kids that are preteens that had this completely well organized spy organization, and that their sole purpose was just like battling the adults. Super hilarious. Came up with the most ridiculous gadgets that actually worked.
2x4 technology.
2x4 technology.
Premium 2x4 technology.
I mean, every episode was like a mission with the crazy acronym.
That
let's see, you had
they kept it up all season too. I'm sorry for cutting you
right.
off,
It was
but
every
yeah.
episode.
yeah, but it was like right. It was like it could like you would think, oh, this will just be a gag for a couple of them, but it's like no, they had it for like every
And
episode.
it was so relevant. Like,
they
oh,
had.
shit.
I think every character was like very interesting and had these very unique personalities that meshed well with together, and that really made them like a strong group. From number one being the leader archetype,
'Cause it also needs to be
number two being the tech, number three. What was number
tech
three's
slash
purpose?
pilot.
I don't know her
I think
purpose.
She was wild
She
card.
I guess just being silly.
She was
Like
wild
I don't
card.
think she had like a really big technical skill. Number four was just number four was the fire. He was just stupid, but a fire.
Stupid
Number
dumb
five was just let's see everything.
You like shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I was about to say.
I mean, it's just like she was just good at everything. Just a great agent, super spy.
Basically,
I liked her storyline, and don't just because say that she was black. It was because like she was actually battling her sister, because it was not just like adults against kids. It was like kids battling teenagers too,
or their
and it was
brothers
just like
sisters,
that.
rather.
That whole storyline is like really grabbed me, and that's basically why like I just love Kids Next Door. So come on, bring it on. Let's debate. Agree, disagree.
No,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. That deserves a spot on the
It was a
top
really good
five.
show.
Yeah, down to its creativity, character development. They had like Power Rangers level silly villains, but they were all still kind of like had their own like personal things. Like the Toilet Man was actually like had like some real like emotional problems.
Remember?
He was the toilinator.
Flushinator.
Toilinator.
Flushinator.
Oh, the
Something like that.
Toilinator.
Remember Sticky Beard and what was it? What was his thing? Like I'm a pirate.
He was a
pirate,
candy, and he loved giving. It was this whole thing.
And you know what was really weird about like Kids Next Door? They would have like these corny villains like the toilet guy, Sticky Beard, and the guy who spanks people. And then you would have broken ass niggas like Father,
Right.
who was just I'm like, what? Like literally,
Like,
his character is the devil. Like I'm confused.
Toilinator. That was his name, not Flushinator.
And he just spits fire, and I'm like, yo, this like all the other villains were fine. They were corny. It fit, but this nigga's broken. Like this is some anime level shit.
Like he was like it was a game. He was the boss level villain.
Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all remember like that last level of the movie where it went over like number one's father, how he was like the best K&D
Mm-hmm.
operative or whatever. So this man literally like, oh yeah,
He
I'm
was
just gonna
zero.
take, like, yeah, he was zero. And Father's is like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna take 5 kids, brainwash them, make them fight you guys, and my dad is the source of all evil.
Yeah,
I'm special.
yeah. And that's exactly how
special
that
about
conversation went.
Wasn't that his
Like,
brother too?
No, wait, no, number one, that was like number
No,
one's
Zero.
uncle.
No, Zero. No, that was his
Zero?
dad. That was legit.
Yeah,
his dad.
Zero. Yeah, that was his dad.
But like Zero, wasn't that Father's brother?
Yeah.
Yes, they were related. Say
Mm.
uncle, son. I'll never forget that line. It was
Say
stupid.
uncle, son.
Oh right, the grandfather, who was even more broken.
Basically, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna turn all y'all to zombies that are old as shit. Nothing special. I'm
Right,
source
like,
of
why
evil,
could he
I
do
whatever I
that?
want.
Let's move on.
Like all these other dudes, like, oh yeah, I'm just the
Yeah,
I'm like the
Mr.
Mr. Boss who literally defines all of human anatomy. Like he defines everything that a human being should be. Cartoon, yes, but bruh, your man literally has a cigar coming out of his mustache, and then his lips.
Oh
are
yeah, son.
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
we
what?
We should keep.
Can we
on.
work with that?
No, he's broken. Let's leave it at that. Son.
Literally,
Alright,
not figuratively. Like he's strong. He's literally broken, like down to the chromosomes. He's broken.
Pam, let's go ahead with you next, and then we'll go to Jared after that.
Give me a minute. I'm busy.
All right, Jared, we're going to you.
All right, Cool. So my number 5, and this show wasn't on that long, but the time it was on, I fucking loved it. It was Stormhawks. Y'all remember that?
Stormhawks. That's new.
Right.
I don't remember that one.
Wow.
Y'all never heard of that?
I remember.
No.
I vaguely remember Stormhawks, but Jesus, did it need to be in top 5?
Heard about it,
I
but
mean,
I didn't like that.
my personal top 5 is because, well, one, Piper was bad. I need y'all to look up who Piper is. Maurice, you'll definitely agree with me. If you don't, I don't know you anymore. Just saying. But the fact that we had motorcycles, that fly, they went into detail on how they actually maintained these things, and I'm like, yo, I want one of these. Like, I genuinely wanted one of these. And the fact, like, they go over they don't go into much character development, which is kind of sad because
I remember this.
Yeah, and like the fight scenes were actually like they were gripping to me. Like I enjoyed, the aerial combat, the hand-to-hand combat that they did. But I just wish it was on longer.
I don't remember too much
You know
about
what
it,
that
but I do remember it. I do remember
Because it
was
probably
a decent
ran
show.
for like a single.
Yeah, it was on for like a couple years though. I'm
was
just
on
mad
for
it didn't
2
last long. I personally like that show. Like I really love that show.
I remember it. Like as quickly as it came, that's as quickly as it left. Like you didn't hear about it again. And it looked like a good show. It's just
I mean, it was like graphically wise, it was up there in regard any of y'all seen Hot Wheels Battle Force 5? Y'all remember that one? It was kind of like that graphics. Oh damn, I'm remembering shows y'all even heard of.
Damn.
No, y'all no more, man.
I have feels.
What channel was this on?
Cartoon Network.
Oh.
It came on really early in the morning. That's probably why.
Wait a minute, hold up, guys. I'm looking at this shit. Actually came on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. How did that happen?
How did that happen?
For real?
Because sometimes when it gets canceled off one network, another network buys it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that shit is really rare, especially after 2002. That is super rare. Because it didn't happen with the fucking Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay. Calm down just a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm salty.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
We'll sprinkle you on some fries.
Damn.
On a level of 1 to high cholesterol, how salty are you right now about that?
Man, I am at a heart attack, my guy.
Clean heart attack.
But yeah, top 5. Number 5 for me is Stormhawks.
Right.
I don't care if y'all haven't seen it or I don't remember it that well, but I fucking love that show.
All right, Pam.
I vaguely
Are you
remember.
ready to give your 5? Pam. All right, moving on. So, Andre, I think we should say ours at the same time.
Okay, so no.
No.
We can do that. We can do it for the first one. For the number 1 spot, we can.
Okay.
But number 5, I don't think we got the same number 5.
Okay. I thought you meant. What you were saying. So, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. So my number 5 pick was actually the Boondocks.
Ah, okay.
I remember the Boondocks came out and nobody in my class was like, it was one of those situations where it's like, yo, we're not really supposed to be watching this because we're kids, but we can't not watch it because it's a cartoon. And it's one of those shows where you don't really get what they're saying at the time, but when you go back and watch it, you're going like, okay, this makes sense. This is why they said this. It
always related back to events that were going on.
And the Boondocks was actually like the first show that kind of, well, no, Avatar was also there, but was also that show where it kind of did that whole, is it an anime or is it not an anime? Because technically it's produced in America, but it's drawn by Koreans in the style of anime. So
that I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Actually, I think most shows are actually animated in Korea, but that's not the point. The Boondocks had this. It's just that the Boondocks had this very distinct style where it was like the anime influences were so apparent, it incorporated itself into its overall style. And does everybody remember in season 3 the goddamn dodgeball episode?
Yes.
Best episode. Oh my god.
The kickball episode. Son, Huey went in, bro. Huey went in.
Dude, this episode was everything I wanted out of a goddamn it,
I did.
like Huey was my favorite character. We got a lot of Huey. He's going up again. He's using his kung fu in a freaking game that has no need for kung fu, and he Dragon Ball Z a ball. All right, that episode
it was pretty lit. I ain't gonna lie. And he wasn't like an overly broken character. He was just like, smart, educated. Not saying whoa,
right?
He just always had the kung fu and knowledge to whoop Riley's ass.
Yeah,
plus he's the older brother, so
I kind of, and also go ahead, Flo.
I was saying it's just that he has the authority. Okay, look who's like taking care of him. You have Granddad, who's not really, I guess, the best role model. Because it was like he was just all about getting women.
Young white women.
It just seemed like that was just like his whole thing, trying to get like younger women. But it was like Huey was just like
and
the
don't
morals...
forget get Drake's trick.
Right. And you just like have Huey, who's just like the moral of the show, and then you have like the opposite, Riley, who is just stuck in this hood mentality, and you just have Huey doing everything he can to kind of set him straight.
To piggyback off of that, the Boondocks actually did a lot of things right when it comes to like black archetypes.
Right.
You really like Huey is the free nigga archetype. He is the what's that nigga's name? Not Malcolm X, but the guy who's actually
from Black Panther, the one he was named after.
Yes, I forgot his name, but he's
Huey. Pete Newton.
There we go. Thank you, because I knew you would know that. And then you have Riley, who is the...
Shut up.
What? I'm serious. Then we have what? I'm playing to everybody's strength.
Not you, her. Get red. She got red like shit, man. That shouldn't happen.
Yo.
Then we had Riley, who was the regular black archetype. He was just
stereotypical.
He was a nigga, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
We have Granddad, who was kind of with the parental guidance, but at the same time, he wasn't exactly the best role model. So he was basically like your 40-year-old uncle who means well, but he doesn't exactly do the best actions himself. Then we have Tom, who is married to Sarah, the white woman, so we got that whole debacle going. Their episodes were actually some of my favorite in the entire series. Like there was this one episode where Tom had to go to jail.
Oh my god! Yo, I remember that.
Alaskan bitches, Korean bitches.
Nah, my favorite one with Tom was when Stick Cleaner came back.
True.
That had me crying.
We're repeating the conversation, but true.
Straight up, just fucking couch.
Sarah was the typical white woman. The actual catch-22 or oddball character that really kind of stood out, but she didn't really get that much development, was Wendy. I'm not too sure why. Maybe because in the comics she was also like this. You're just here to push a certain idea or a certain not topic, but I'm gonna just leave it at idea. So she didn't really get as much character development as I would have liked in the show, which kind of sucks because I actually thought she was an interesting character. The daughter of Tom and Sarah.
Oh,
her
name was Wendy.
No, that's Jasmine. Her name
Jasmine.
I'm literally sitting there a smooth minute trying to think who the hell was Wendy.
My fault. I don't know where I got Wendy. Jasmine, who was everything that I just said, just put Jasmine in front of it. Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out why she didn't get as much character development, because she was actually in a spot where not a lot of Americans can agree from, but a lot of mixed people do. I mean, can relate to her situation because her dad is black and her mom is white. So they didn't really delve into the whole, well, where do I fit in? What side do I choose? And stuff like that. So they kind of played her off as the butt of a joke, basically. She was always you're gonna use you to push a joke. So I was kind of disappointed by that. But yeah, all the characters in Boondocks was extremely memorable, and that's why it's my top 5.
Okay.
Uncle Ruckus.
Number
No
5.
relation.
Let's not talk about Uncle Ruckus, all right? Because
Why?
It's gonna take a minute.
I mean, everybody knows like that Uncle Ruckus. Like somebody has like a self-hating black person
yeah,
that's just like, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Where the white women at?
Okay. All right, so Pam, you ready to give your final 5, your first 5, number 5 of the
Yes.
What is it?
Okay, so my 5th. Can I start from the bottom then?
Yeah, that's where we all started from the bottom.
Yeah, start with number 5.
Okay, my number 5 was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Damn. I forgot about that. I completely forgot.
Like, I really love that show. From the time Blue left with Mac to live at Foster's, from all the crazy adventures they had, from both of them delving with separation anxiety, but yeah. Okay, moving on. Okay. My 4th one is Time Squad.
Wait. Just one.
I mean, she already said it now. You might as well let it keep going.
I remember that show.
Time Squad.
Really?
Yes.
I remember that show.
What was
Time
that
Squad
about?
was great.
I've never seen that.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all remember Time Squad?
You don't remember
it?
You don't remember Officer Buck Time Russell?
Officer Buck Time Russell, my God.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Officer Buck Time Russell.
Am I supposed
Tony
to
Russell.
remember it? Or
Yes, it was fun yet educational.
Time Squad.
But yeah, the little kid that just basically knew everything.
Yeah, an orphan.
Yeah,
I
the
do
robot.
not remember that at all. Was this a...
Dang, you don't remember Time Squad?
No.
I
don't.
enjoyed that show. It disappeared so quick.
Oh, shit. When did that come out?
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
my God.
You don't remember Officer Buck Todd Russell?
Oh, that. Okay, I just Googled it. Man, he had a really strong jaw.
Wow.
Officer Buck Time Russell.
I can't put any other words besides Officer Buck Todd Russell. Like this.
Yeah.
I'm mad though. This man Andre is like, you don't remember Time Squad? You don't remember Officer Buck Time Russell?
Oh, that's how he introduced it. I am Officer Buck Todd Russell. Like what?
Who ate everything that shouldn't have been consumed.
Yeah.
Every episode.
This Todd Russell was the man.
Yeah. And okay.
Wait, no, wait a minute. Everybody gotta do their 4. We're going in order.
Okay.
Wait, Maurice did Maurice do his 5?
No.
Yeah, I don't think Maurice did his 5.
I didn't.
Maurice didn't do his 5? Well,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
done.
We're not.
Nobody is.
It's going to this. Nobody is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So my number 5 is Steven Universe.
Oh.
Good to God.
I'm cheating.
All right.
I understand.
Good Lord.
Okay.
But this
I
show.
tried to choose that.
Go ahead. Well, no, it's
Go
my
ahead,
turn.
I'm done.
I'm talking now. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Good
Damn,
God.
it's like that.
So
Go
this
get
show is clutch as fuck. I love the story, the songs. It's got like that good old like that vibe that you got from like around the 2000s, 1990s era. Like good music. Like shows like, and I may be ruining somebody's list. Shows like Billy and Mandy, where they or not technically outsource, but just have like really good songs and really good memorable songs in their story. All the characters are memorable, very simplistic, but actually really deep characters at the same time. I love how like the show keeps like pulling you in, like it's almost becoming like a Walking Dead drama, but good.
Okay.
Like it's like there's always like a next layer or another thing that happened to the war because it does a really good job of giving you a very small premise and then expanding and blossoming that premise, pun intended if anyone got that point, blossoming it into like a really interesting storyline that kind of keeps you hooked. There's a lot of character progression. There's a lot of not a lot of action scenes per se, but the fights are decent when they happen. The characters have really interesting abilities. It's just a really good movie.
I give up.
Dude, number 5.
Blossoming. Where is that at? Like, I didn't. I watched the show,
Rose.
and I don't even know where that joke came from.
Rose
Huh?
Quartz.
Rose Quartz.
Rose Quartz.
Really? Stretched. Okay.
That's not
Okay.
that's not stretching at all either.
Like, bruh, I could understand if you made like a direct reference to the name of a rose. This man just said blossoming. Like, oh yeah, rose quartz. That makes sense.
It's a flower.
She did gardens. Like she planted weird
That's
stuff
the
all
same
over.
shit. That's all the same
Yeah.
lines. Like, okay, whatever. I just don't want to think.
Flo was agreeing with you.
Okay.
I don't know what Jared is on.
All right.
I
Hey,
got
number-
stories. I got it. I understood what you were going from.
Thank
I
you.
understood it too. I just didn't laugh.
It wasn't a laugh type of
Okay, so-
thing.
Was it like I didn't laugh either, but at least knew where he was coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out why is number 5 anyway. No,
Because
never
the
mind.
other
It's-
ones are doing the other ones in my list. I feel like do what Steven Universe does now. It did it well back then, and Steven Universe kind of has like that same spirit. Like it's almost like a spiritual successor from these. That's why I put it at number 5. I feel like it's only
okay.
it only plays off the strengths of the other ones and why I like those. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, who wants to do the number 4?
Well, it might as well just come back to me. Like we do full rotation.
Full rotation.
Okay.
And skip.
So
Pam.
my number 4. Okay. Do you want? Well, I thought we did her for. I thought she
No, I
explained her
said,
number
no, I
4.
said and skip Pam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. All right. So for my number 4, I picked Adventure Time because
Wow.
you have. I mean, you have Finn the human and Jake the dog just going on these really dope adventures just because they want to go on dope adventures.
Dope adventures.
And
Roll-
it's just
Adventure
like
time, roll credit.
But I kind of like it because it's like you have, I mean, you have like Princess Bubblegum, who is just like ruling the Candy Kingdom,
She's
who's
fucking
also
evil.
like this, like this mad scientist almost. And then you have, let's see, what's my other favorite character? I really like Marceline, the Vampire Queen, and how she's a dope musician.
Dope.
And just like
Saying dope,
she's
or-
like what? She started off as a vampire. What was her storyline? It's like she was a demon.
She was a demon.
And she was hunting vampires. Then she got bitten by a vampire, and now she like rules all the vampires.
And her
Like,
father's the
that's-
source of all evil.
Dude, she was
So,
savage
like a
as
Raven
fuck when
type
she
character.
Was, when she was killing those demons,
But I mean,
she was actually
like-
taking their powers. Like, did anyone catch that?
I mean,
oh no, wait, no one watched. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
oh my god. But anyway, like she was just such an amazing character with like such an interesting storyline. I like the times when they kind of switched it up, when they kind of did like a gender reversal episode, and
Oh,
yeah,
I remember that one.
those were kind of like one of my favorite episodes. But yeah, it's just like adorably cute and weird with like a lot of adult themes in it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Cartoon Network's famous for it
It was.
in general.
Right.
Are y'all ready for this?
Oh, y'all ready?
I did
Dun, dun,
not
dun, dun.
watch Adventure Time.
That's fine. It's like 9.
Why?
That's fine.
It's like 9.
Yeah, I'm about to
Why?
say,
right now. I
it's
can't
alright.
even.
I don't know. But
I
it didn't,
stopped watching in between.
it didn't mess with me all that much.
I wasn't into the supreme, like, complete randomness of the adventures. I'm like, oh, okay.
Bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. That's all. I
They
have
actually
to
made
say.
a remix of that song. Which is
Yes,
fucking amazing.
I
The
know.
fucking,
I-
what was the
with
name
the
of that
New
song?
York. It was
Yeah.
they did New York. Bacon
Empire State of Mind. That was
Yes.
actually the name of the song. I downloaded that. That was fucking amazing.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. All right, we can move on to the next one. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone disagree with this pick, or do they not like it?
No, I can agree that it was probably a solid show. I just didn't watch it.
It was probably good, but I don't know.
Hey, a lot of people were good. God.
Let's go ahead and go with Jared then,
Mind me though. All right.
or Andre.
So this is my only pick from Nickelodeon. No hate towards Nickelodeon. It's just I wasn't really a huge fan of Nickelodeon
Mm-hmm.
That's
at the time.
fine.
But my number 4 would be Danny Phantom.
Ma!
Yep. Called it. Called it.
All right. So one of the main things that sticks out of that show, which not a lot, I was surprised that the people I talked to didn't understand this, but that was one of the only cartoons that people had 5 fingers. I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
they
Wow.
legitimately
And
had
just
5
for
fingers.
that deserves them.
No. It didn't. That's not the main reason. It was just that just stuck to me for the entire time I've ever watched that show. The fact that these guys had 5 fingers. But now, this show, I mean, they did a lot with, like, I guess character development. Like, I loved Tuck. Like, my favorite character was honestly Danny's dad. He fucking killed me every single time he like was showed.
hilarious.
This man is just making me laugh. I fucking love it.
His
Screaming
mom-
ghosts,
Isn't that-
being dumb as shit.
His anatomy got me very confused.
Yo, this dude, his legs. Like, what is up
Where's
with his
his
legs?
Where is his leg?
Son, he literally just, he doesn't have knees. Like, I swear he doesn't have knees.
Doesn't have
He
the.
doesn't have a
But
neck
now,
either.
Sam was, I guess, I wouldn't say Sam was bad. I kind of had a crush on Paulina the whole time, no lie, even though she was kind of a bitch. But,
Why?
I'm sorry, bro. Like, the hair, it's not. But, yeah, I love the fact that the dude had, like his development of the ghost powers, I was so intrigued about. Like, dude, what was it? His, like,
Brian
ghost sense was,
Bushman?
like, his inner ability to have, like, freezing powers and shit, and they went on with that. Fucking dude actually having beef with these ghosts. Like, it wasn't just, oh, you're evil, I want to fight you. No, these guys actually had beef. Like, they did not like each other. But I really like that show.
Yeah, the world. Because I look at the creator. I think his name is Butch Burtman or something like that, or Butch. It's something. Butch.
He basically did almost like every single
Yeah.
show that we can remember off of
And if you look-
Nickelodeon.
if you look at like
No, he
his
Wait a
the
minute. No, he
good
didn't.
ones, he was working on the good ones like
He only-
Fairly Odd
he only-
Parents.
He only did Fairly Odd Parents, and that was it.
Tough Puppy. Tough Puppy's good.
What the fuck? Never mind. He's just saying stuff, man.
But
No,
like
He also did Tough Puppy, which everybody loved. What?
my point is what I'm trying to get at is he created like this whole world in Danny Phantom. He has like stuff that can go on like beyond what the original runtime of the show was. Like it's a very well thought out world.
Ghost World.
It had some pretty decent rules, and they didn't really break continuity all that much. So
Nah.
I would have to agree with that.
Dude,
It
do
was
you know
a solid pick?
You remember did you know that the Ghost World was tied with our own world? So if one of them go, they both go?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had an entire plot line about it.
I completely forgot. That's it. That's all I learned.
All right.
Thanks for having me. Be back next week.
Well, be here all week.
Andre, do you want to go next or?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, so my number 4 is probably a show that nobody watched because it was actually a really good show. I'm not sure why nobody watched it. My number 4, and the only reason it's not higher is because other shows are just closer to my heart. Number 4 is a Disney show called Gravity Falls. Does anybody remember that?
I love that show. I marathon it every weekend it's on because to see what episodes I have not missed or if I've seen it already.
Hey, I'm glad somebody flipped me. But yeah, Gravity Falls was surprisingly deep for a Disney show. Now, you're probably saying why a Disney show, but
I wasn't.
just oh wow, did I just get cut off?
Are you still here? You here?
No, you're still on. You're still on.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say because I'm usually one who just leaves. But anyway, yeah, Gravity Falls was very very deep for a Disney show. It had like these themes and these situations and other things where it's like, okay, so they'll take one thing, like let's take Grunkle Stan, who was one of the greatest characters of all time, by the way. he's supposed to represent like the Freemasons and stuff like that. Like his entire character, his suit, his hat, is supposed to be like it's supposed to be a reference towards Freemasons. And then you have Bill Cipher, who was like supposed to be the triangle, which everybody was afraid of in the modern era because of the whole Illuminati deal. So they kind of build upon that. And the mysteries will also drive the the Bill Cipher and the eye on top of Bill Cipher. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't notice that. That was so obvious. Actually, that was like glaring at you the whole time.
Yeah. Also, Gravity Falls had probably some of the best characters I have ever seen in any cartoon ever. Every single character obviously they had their own character, but they were all so different and they were all so interesting. From Grunkle Stan to the twins to Zeus to what's her face whose name escapes me. I know I sound pretty
The redhead.
Yes, the redhead. Wendy. Was it Wendy?
There we go. Yeah, it was Wendy.
Is that why I was saying Wendy? Was that why I was saying Wendy for the Boondocks?
I guess so.
That was
you
probably
got those two characters mixed up, I will never know.
They're women. That's good enough.
Oh my god.
No comment.
Wow.
Anywho.
Can I
That's
move on to
right,
mine
you better-
now? Are we done?
No, because I'm still talking.
Okay.
And- I just wanted to speak real quick on the animation for Gravity Falls because Gravity Falls has some pretty clean animation. When it comes to Disney and everything before, I want to say, excluding Avatar, after 2000, excluding 2002, I want to say Gravity Falls is the best animated show since 2000 and ever, really. I can't really think of it. Yeah, it's
Disney went to
yeah, I can't really think of anything. Even stuff like Steven Universe. Gravity Falls was still animated better than Steven Universe.
I can agree with that. Steven Universe is
Okay.
Yes,
I think it's just like how the characters were drawn with Gravity Falls. It just looks so cheesy to me that it was very off-putting, and then that's maybe why I didn't watch it. But I really don't think that Gravity Falls looks better than Steven Universe. I'm sorry.
You missed out on a gem. I'm just
No, I didn't, because you know why? Because I watched Steven Universe with real gems.
Oh.
Boo. Fucking wrecked. Oh my god.
Oh, whatever.
You know I got to.
Come on, you know that was so forward.
Nah.
No.
It's only because Jared hyped it up, so I had to auto hype it up. Because that's
auto hype
right
it
now.
up. That's the auto hype it up. Okay.
It's a thing, yo. Stop hating. It's a thing.
I had to.
Okay, son. But yeah, number 4, Gravity Falls. Really, really good show. Which, by the way, I looked at several other lists of like top cartoons after 2010. Gravity Falls came out on top, almost on 2 of those lists, and one list was by fucking IDBM, some shit like that. I forget.
Oh, IMDb.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Gravity Falls was a really good show.
Nice.
And it ended right where it needed to as well.
Oh, it did? I didn't see the ending.
The fuck?
I said I'm watching episodes I might have missed.
I just imagine you like tilting your head like.
Gravity Falls. In it had a finale and everything. That's the story is complete.
I must have missed it then.
Yes, you did.
All right, so my number 4. Okay, I'm talking. All right, my number 4. I'm gonna give this one a little introduction because this was an amazing follow-up to a 90s show. It's not Spectacular Spider-Man. Calm down.
Yabs.
All right. But yeah, no,
Man had a
was
calm that shit down immediately.
right. I heard him like, oh, spectacular. No,
Spectacular Spider-Man, spectacular.
no, but like, if you're gonna follow up a show from the '90s with this is how you do it. So my top four,
All grown up like shit.
nigga, what?
Mm.
Let me just say it before it gets out of hand.
Every birthday, my mom and dad will say you're a
Oh my
year-old.
That sounds kind of weird though. It's X-Men Evolution.
Oh god.
Do you guys
Oh
remember
my
that?
god, I was
Let
so
me mute myself.
close to putting it on my list too.
I'm just gonna mute myself. I'll be back.
What?
Oh my god.
Okay, so this show was amazing. The characters, they weren't too far redone too far from their original I guess iterations at the time, but the show was still like solid with the teen drama. The action was really good. The characters went through like some type of progressive shit. They had people wild out and say like true to the characters in to a certain extent. It was kind of questionable at times because sometimes like I didn't agree with the way they brought a character in, like the way they brought in Gambit like was towards the end and he didn't really have many scenes. But it was still like extremely solid. Like I really enjoyed watching X-Men Evolution just with like, you know, Saturday morning. I remember waking up, popping on X-Men Evolution. It was like my Teen Titans Go, my Marvel Teen Titans Go. My Marvel Teen Titans.
I think with like
my bad.
Like keep in mind like with this anyway, with this I think I really liked about it because this is like actually when they bring in X-23. Because this is where she originated from, X-Men Evolution.
Was it?
Yes. Because remember, she didn't appear in comics first. She came out of like this show.
Oh, okay.
And then they put her in the comics.
I wasn't aware of that, but okay, cool. More reason.
And then I'm trying to remember. Did they still keep that tension between Jean Grey and Wolverine? Because like when Wolverine
she was in high school.
Yeah, and then he was just like a teacher or or so, well, I forgot what they had Logan doing, but
he was a teacher. He was teaching them like how to fight, which was also really cool. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like it because like the love triangle between like Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine was like I think very compelling. But I mean, it was still a good show.
Movies?
But I'm saying, like,
are you talking about from the actual
comic and movie?
Okay. We couldn't go one podcast without keeping the comic shit to a minimum. We couldn't do it once, could we? Couldn't do it once.
You're over here just geeky out, just the mere like thought of Spider-Man. The Spectacular Spider-Man. Are we not?
That's still.
The movie was amazing. That show was amazing. That '90s show was amazing. That video game was amazing. I can keep going.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
Peter Parker has the baddest chicks in the Marvel universe, but that's just not. Don't. Just let me mute myself.
No. Just cut yourself. Just calm down. Take a deep breath.
Oh my God, Black Cat. Mary Jane.
All right. Well,
okay.
That's one of my top four. I don't have too much to go into it. The way it ended, they were actually killed. They did. It ended properly. But they didn't keep characters dead, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like as a kid, I was like,
comic
book? Yeah, true.
So it was like a regular comic book.
But that's the thing with like children's cartoon is like a character. They don't really, like in American cartoons. They don't really like to show death like that. It's just like the character comes back in some type of way.
But they killed like Apocalypse came in and just was wiping the floor. He took Xavier, Magneto, Storm, Sun. It was lit.
And then it got retconned, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like what the movies did.
Yeah, no, kinda. Does it count if it's a different studio? Boom.
Hey Jared, what's your number 4?
I already said my number 4.
What's your number 3?
No, let Pam go
Wait,
first.
why am I going first for number 3? What
Pam's number 4 was Slime Squad.
Yeah, but we're going for
I
3.
know, but
Okay, yeah.
Flo was
Go ahead,
first.
Quick question though before I even start.
Anime don't count.
Come on, we went into Adult Swim. Why does it count? It doesn't count.
I said anime.
Yeah, Adult Swim is fine.
Yeah, Adult Swim is fine.
She hasn't said she was listening.
One here.
Oh wow.
Yes, please tell us.
The Big O.
Oh wow.
Wait
a minute.
anime.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's an anime.
Yeah, that is an
It's
anime,
always
but
an
I remember
anime.
that.
Come on.
No,
We're gonna
anime.
no, we'll let you slide for this one.
Okay.
Because
Isn't it? Wait,
if I didn't
that was
do
American, right? Or no?
no. Because if I didn't do any research when I was a kid, I thought One Piece was also an American cartoon as well.
What?
Bruh.
So I'll let that slide.
Please don't bring that up. My soul still hurts.
What?
I've
One Piece?
recovered.
Oh,
But
from
that's
what?
not what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So tell us why you like Big O. Cheater.
Okay, yes.
It's all
I
right.
love Big O
All
because,
right.
well, for one, it pays tribute to Japan's, the art style that they cater to, like the edgy triangle squares route that they seem to went with between the 80s and the 90s. And I also love the music a lot. It kind of bordered on Cowboy Bebop style music, but not too much.
Fun fact: Roger Smith and Spike
Yes.
were voiced by the same guy.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, no. That's what I said.
Damn.
I think we
Thank
did.
you for that tidbit of information. Explains why I love Cowboy Bebop so much.
Dorothy,
Or Spike.
right.
And I can't say I enjoyed the mystery that was shrouded within the anime itself because
That was dumb as shit.
I
It
know,
was look
I know, but it still
the
compelled me to watch.
it was the plot for Big O was on some Kingdom Hearts shit. It made no sense whatsoever. It had something to do with farms and tomatoes and memories and
Angels.
it was all over the place.
Evangelion, hello?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
You didn't watch? Oh, you didn't watch Ava?
Oh yes, I loved Ava.
Give me a character.
Yes.
Just so I can make sure we're talking about the same thing here.
Yes.
What's your favorite character?
Oops.
I don't think that's a character.
Oops is. I remember Oops. Oops was pretty lit.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was in the filler episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops.
and they died.
Yeah.
Which is why it was a
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like that was a big mistake. But
Oh man, Naruto has some of the worst fillers ever.
Yeah.
Okay, you said
Kakashi's mask.
Oh!
Though. Like, we definitely needed to know about that.
So you know what's under this mask? I'm never mad. Oh boy. So that's your number 3, Pam? The Big O or Big O? Big O! I remember that.
Go time!
Why was he called Big O though?
Doesn't matter.
Because he's a big old
Big
robot.
O. Big O.
Big O.
It's funny because I went back and I watched the Japanese opening. It's literally just them saying Big O several times. Big O, Big O, Big O, Big O. Like, oh my god, they actually did this. I'm not reaching. That's exactly how it sounds.
Okay.
Well.
Let's go with Flanora next, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, my number 3,
Yeah.
Steven Universe.
Hey.
So I picked it for number 3 because one, it's one of like the first successful LGBT shows on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
Is it?
Well,
Bert and Ernie don't count.
Who?
Okay.
Who?
Okay.
Billy
Never mind. Steve. Yeah, it's like I think that this show is like a really good way to introduce like young kids to lesbians and just like acceptance. I also
I
love
have so many
my
problems
favorite
with that
character.
sentence, like,
Anyway,
yeah, skip me.
I
with
would give that to Scott
I think my favorite character is Garnet because she's actually like made.
course.
It's not because she's the black one. It is because like she is like literally made of like an actual couple. Like she's made of love, and she's
And not because she's voiced by Erica Badu.
She's
It's
voiced.
not Erica Badu. It's
voiced-
Estelle.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I'm pretty
Ooh,
sure it's
my
a style.
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
I like-
It's
I like
more.
Was it the E? The E
It-
fucked you up? That was...
Oh my god. It's more about like how she knows everything, can see everything, and it's like the baddest fighter on the team.
Baddest.
Also the baddest on the team.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, and you just love like Steven's like upbeat, positive energy, and how the songs on there are just amazing.
We don't have to repeat
Yeah.
the same things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the songs are
Other
absolutely god tier.
facets. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they finally released
So-
the album, dude, oh my god.
Dude, son, when that came out that midnight, I swear to God, I stayed up until 2 in the morning, re-listening to every single song in depth. All of them are amazing. Like the one with they had what's the one with Mr. Universe, Maurice?
Comment.
Dude. Oh,
Comment.
and the guitar solo. Let me not start.
Oh, are you talking about What Can I Do For You or Comment?
What can I do for you?
Yes.
Son, that song is absolutely amazing. But let me not get into it.
Don't make your
So-
3 pick look like ass. I feel you.
Close number 3.
Yeah.
Universe.
Okay.
Hard pick.
Jared or Andre, whichever one wants to go first.
I can go next.
I can do this.
My number 3 is actually the reason I said from 2002 and up, because I couldn't possibly imagine not putting this show on the list. My number 3 is Kim Possible. Kim Possible was probably the first cartoon that I ever obsessed about. I could not get enough of this show. So it got to the point where it was like, if I missed the time that it would come on every day at 5:30, I would legit get depressed. I absolutely love this show. I can't really go into depth of what really made it good. It's just one of those shows where it's just like, it's arbitrary. You don't really know why you liked it as much as you did. You just did. And also, Ron Stoppable is all of us.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ron Stoppable is every man ever.
I mean, look at it this way: you had a strong female lead who wasn't like
I'm messing with you.
it was just like like she actually did stuff and kind of like she didn't really. It's like she could be fine on her own, but she did have like friends to back her up. You know, she had like her tech support, and then she had like her goofy sidekick.
No, let's just call it.
Where it was like a role reversal between like Ron and Kim.
Yeah, that show broke a lot of stereotypes, and I think like
It did.
Let's not forget Shigo constantly being a badass, saying "fuck you." I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna get the job done.
And her backstory, so
Right.
Son,
Oh right, Shigo did have an interesting backstory. But yeah, Kim Possible, like what like folks said, was one of the first shows where it's like, well, girls do exist, and girls can do these things too. They don't have to be like the sidekick or the Mary Sue type character. Which, if you
Or
want
it needs to be saved.
yeah, which if you really want to get into it, Kim Possible was actually very close to being a Mary Sue if it wasn't for her obvious flaws outside of crime fighting. Because let's face it, Kim Possible is kind of a Mary Sue. Let's just put it out there. And then when I say Mary Sue, I'm talking about a character, typically female, who is just good at everything for no apparent reason. They don't work hard at it. They just go in and do it. And I think that's the reason that people are having problems with the new Iron Man, because she's just perfect at everything. That's why nobody likes her, and it's not because she's a woman in black. She's just perfect at everything. But that's another topic.
I like that though. I mean,
a lot of people don't though. But
Batman was a thing.
No, nigga, we're go stay to this. Yeah. What else can I say besides Ron Stoppable is everyone. Kim Possible is pretty much. Kim Possible was the friend that you always wanted to have, but you never got. Like their friendship was just, man. I wish I had a friend at 9 years old who could be like me and like who would be with me like Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable are. Never really happened, but because they had like this perfect. It wasn't just like the whole. They didn't really introduce the romance thing until like the end. To which I was actually kind of mad they did the whole romance thing.
It was like
what it wasn't. Well, I'll admit, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of expected because, like, I guess because they've been friends so long, and it's just like, why not? Because I think they kind of played that on purpose. Because they do this with every, like, leading male and female role. They start off as friends, and then like over time.
Not to mention this, but her other interest, Josh Mankey. His name is awfully close to Monkey, and no one wants that.
And we couldn't have that shit, son.
Exactly.
just definitely could not have that. Also, Kim, going back to their friendship, they did something extremely right with Kim and Ron's friendship. They had, I keep on saying this in every excuse me. I keep on saying this on almost every single podcast. They do a thing where they don't tell Kim and Ron's friendship. So they don't tell you guys that, oh, they're best friends. They've been friends since the age of this, then they grew up together and all blah blah blah. No, you learn all of that through their interaction. So their dialogue, you can tell they've known each other for a while. The way they go on missions, Kim can almost predict when Ron is going to fuck up something. So they do like these little things that doesn't treat the audience like an idiot. They don't have this 5-minute or 10-minute exposition dump in the first episode that says, yeah, that's my best friend, Kim Possible. We've been friends since kindergarten, and I've been there for her since blah, blah, blah. And that always gets on my nerves whenever a movie or TV show does that. Mm-hmm. Like this giant exposition dump that explains, well, we don't have time to explain who we are, so I'm just going to tell it to you real quick. We're this, we're that, we're that, we're this. No, we get to see their friendship. We get to see them mess up. We get to see why they're friends in the first place and why their friendship actually works. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely loved Kim Possible. It didn't treat me like an idiot.
Church.
It actually treated me like I'm an actual kid with actual sense.
Church.
Kim was bae. Let's just.
Shigo was bae.
Kim was bae.
Triangle boobs, but yeah, I agree.
She was perfect. Son, the red hair, the green, and perfect. Hey yo, her mom had blue eyes and her dad had brown eyes. How did she get green eyes?
But she's a redhead, so that's a recessive gene.
She's a Super Saiyan, but only half.
Okay. Wait, hold up. Can you have red hair and have blue eyes too?
You can.
I guess.
Maybe.
Because again, it's a recessive trait. So one of her parents like have that in their family, and just like came out with Kim.
It's not because it's a recessive trait, but there is a chance it could happen, and that's what she was trying to say.
But being redhead is a recessive trait.
I know, but that's not the reason why it's possible. It's possible because there's a chance, even though it's a recessive trait. Your statement was wrong.
Yeah, we're thinking too hard about this. It's a cartoon.
Okay.
Obviously not just a cartoon.
Life is life.
That cartoon was very important. All right.
Who's next? Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We can just blow through this one. So my number 3, Danny fucking Phantom. Cause
we can blow through that one. Moving on. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
There's really nothing else I can add. Jared kind of just summed it up like perfectly. Like This was just
This-
a really solid show. Good characters, memorable characters at that. The Ghost Zone. I still think the Ghost Zone is. Once I learned everything about the Ghost Zone, like later on in life, that how it's like this big, expansive world, and the fact that the writer can keep going. Like I like the world he built with.
Yeah, if you think about it, the Ghost Zone makes absolute sense.
Right, right. It's like
There's probably a study going on for it right now that says, "Hey, this Butch Hartman guy was probably on to something.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
You know,
There's an equation that explains this, that, and this."
And it does that thing. It also did a thing that Kim Possible does and is really good at. It makes it so that the female characters aren't the ass characters, or just like they're just there to be a plot device. Like no one talked about his mom. I noticed in this chat, but his mom always went the fuck in. Always was the first one. She was the competent one. Like Jack was being carried. He was support. She was carry.
Right.
So
now that I think about it, Jazz was also a really interesting character as well. She was kind of annoying for that first season, but where she actually learned that Danny is a ghost, and she actually starts to like be there for like moral and emotional support. And I'm not even going to mention that badass suit she got at the at the end of the second season. We're going to bypass that one because that'll be cheating. But yeah, I really liked how she was kind of there to be like the moral support. Like, hey, we're not too far in age, even though I pretend I am. I'm actually here for you. If you have any problems, you can come to me because I'm your sister, and blah, 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 and all that jazz. And that kind of, it showed her depth as a character at that point. So that was actually well done.
Depth. That's what you said, right?
And not being a know-it-all during the whole thing.
She was pretty much a know-it-all in that first season.
Even when she started helping them, she tried to be like kind of like that. So next, let's go with Flanora.
Oh.
Or Pam, do you want to go first?
Oh wait, I didn't do my number 3. I'm tripping.
Did you?
What? I said.
I didn't do my number 3.
Do your number 3, please.
All right, my number 3. I don't know if any of y'all have this on the list, but my number 3 was Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
Wait a minute. Hold up. You're cheating.
How am I cheating?
I think Ed, Edd, and Eddy came out in 99, son.
Came out in 99?
There is no way Ed, Edd, and Eddy came out before 2002. That's when the show was ending.
It was ending in 2002?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it started in 1999.
Cheater.
God
Damn it.
damn that boy good. I know my cartoons are right. Yeah.
But it ended in 2009.
If you can pass.
All right, so can I get a freebie since Pam did an anime and I do one that's a little old?
All right.
Okay.
So we'll let it slide. It's an honest.
Right.
Everybody gets one.
All right, but reason why I love this show is, well, first off, squad goals. Like, well, not necessarily squad goals, but they were a squad. Like, come on now, they were a squad. Like,
they were the original squad though. You can't.
Like, no matter what type of stupid shit they were doing or whatnot, they was in it, yo. It's like, yo, even when Double D was like, I don't want to do this, but he's like, nah, man, these my homies. Like, these are my guys.
Right.
You know?
I only wish Maurice was there for me like Double D.
Son, my favorite character. Son, my favorite character has to be Ed, single D Ed. Yo, this dude just has me cracking the fuck up every time I look at this man. He's fucking walking out his eyebrow. He eats his own bed because Eddie plays a joke on him. Like, what? Son, that makes my day. When I see like old episodes of that shit when I'm lost on YouTube, son, I just fucking love it, yo. That puts a smile on my face when I watch that show. What else did I read about this? Oh yeah. So they had a motto. I think they had like an internal motto, like money before hoes, basically. Like they cared more about money than they
I'm
cared
pretty
about
sure
ass.
they did not say money before hoes.
No, I said an internal motto. I didn't say that they actually said it's like, yo, this is basically how they think about it. All the time they like fanned over Naz. Majority of the episodes was about them trying to get money.
True.
Yeah.
Well, true. Yeah, they were always trying to come up with like a quick fast cash, quick scheme. Yeah.
Son, and these jawbreakers, like, can we get these jawbreakers?
What are the proportions and dimensions of these things? What materials are they made of? There is just no way these are real things.
Son, for a fucking quarter, they get a jawbreaker the size of literally a human torso.
A nickel.
Son, $1 worth of jawbreakers could feed an African village for days.
Son, I need that in my life, yo. I really do.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I rank that as number 3. Sorry about cheating. I literally like that show. Just it just made me forget about the rules for a split second. Like I have to add this.
Maybe forget about the
Okay. Well,
rules.
when we do the eventual every show before 2002, you can't say Ed and Eddie then, son.
Probably be able to go into more detail about it. But yeah,
Okay.
number 3, Ed, Ed, Eddie. Don't hate.
All right.
No, you
I'm
want
not hating. I actually love that show,
Hate.
but it wasn't before 2002.
Hate.
It was after 2002.
All right, so
We had to give ourselves some type of limit, or we will be here for hours.
true.
Oh, we have to make it a top 10, and that would been anyways, so number 2, Nora or Pam?
You can go, Flo.
Okay. My number 2, Young Justice. And I love this show because after Teen Titans ended, this was kind of like a good filler for those that long for the original Teen Titans. But at the same time, I love how they changed some things around and actually introduce a lot of characters that haven't been used before. In Young Justice, we didn't have Robin leading the team. We had Aqualad. And we also got, there was, a whole bunch of characters, I never heard before. One, Icon, and with his sidekick, Rocket Girl. That was completely new. I had to, do my research on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, a really telling, gripping series that really kept you hooked. And it was just, I really enjoyed this show, and I'm really looking forward to, season 3 when it, comes out. So, yeah.
Okay.
I really that's my number 2.
Cool. The drama in
That's
that
a
show
show.
was actually pretty good, too.
I need to watch that show.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me I need to watch that show, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
just
watch
because, I think the most interesting character development for me was Martian Girl, because she was, unlike Starfire, she was, really able to assimilate into, Earth culture, but at the same time, it's, she was just, really flawed and messed up, in season 2, because it's, her and Superboy broke up, and she's kind of was just going way too far with her powers, and she had to learn that lesson the hard way when it was the season 2 was I think the most intense season I Young Justice, just because it was just so many people were broken after that, and it was just a question of okay, who can we trust? How can we function as a group if you don't really trust each other? So I thought that was it was really gripping and compelling.
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
Young Justice? Didn't watch it, but it's all good.
Who wants to go next?
All right. Where we at? Number 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I can go next to Lena. Once again, I think this is a show that nobody watched, but I absolutely loved it, and it got canceled after 1 season.
Dang.
I am talking, of course, not of course. I'm talking about Symbionic Titan.
I remember
What?
that show.
That
Exactly.
was so good.
That was
Symbionic
good.
Titan was had the potential to be the best thing the Cartoon Network ever made, and I'm including Samurai Jack into that. Symbionic Titan was that goddamn show. It had so much potential, so many directions it can go into, just so many things, and the fact that it was backed behind Gendy Tartakovsky, the guy who pretty much made your childhood. It baffles my mind every time I talk about this show how it was canceled. Basically, it was canceled because Cartoon Network didn't feel it could make money off of merchandising. So let's get and this was back in the dark days of CN, where they tried to do the whole live action bullshit and Squirrel Boy and all that bullshit. bullshit. Anyway, but anyway, the the then CEO of Cartoon Network really thought that you could not make money by selling off of a show with a goddamn giant robot as the as one of the main characters. I don't get it, son. Like, I'm really glad that guy got fired because it made no sense. He's like the main reason why Symbiotic Titan was canceled because they feel they couldn't make money off of the merchandise. And I'm
I
like,
can't
how do you?
remember. What was the basis of the show?
Okay, so Symbiotic Titan was basically a show. Well, okay, so let me just give you a synopsis. The show was about this alien race who, of course, they look human, so they're basically Kryptonian or
Yeah.
Samurai or something like that.
Mm.
Their planet is being overrun by this group called the Mutrati, and they send their princess and their best warrior and an AI robot to hide on Earth until it's safe for them to come back.
I feel like I watched this.
You
but
did.
it's been too long.
Yeah.
Could you send me a link?
I can do it after the show.
Eh.
I think. Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm just about to rant about why this show was canceled.
Because, like, to be honest, that's not the first time it happened. Because the same thing happened with Static Shock. So it's like, because a lot of, like, whether we like it or not, a lot of these shows are determined whether or not, like, you could really push the merchandise, because it does. That's the big seller. That's what makes the show money. So if they feel they can't really push the merchandise at all, they will kill the show quickly.
But what I don't get is it's a show about giant robots. How can you not sell? How can you not? It writes itself.
All right, I gotta throw in something funny. So not really funny, but it kind of ties to it. So anyone remember the show Megas XLR? Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm not trying to go on the show like saying how it was good or anything. Do you remember the theme song?
Yeah.
You mean that
Living
riff
here
the entire
in
opening?
Jersey, fighting villains from afar.
Of course, Andre remembers
You
this.
gotta fight first gear, and you're a giant robot.
Like, who doesn't love giant robots? Like, I need to know.
Big giant robots.
All right, calm it down. Calm it down.
I'm like, yo, how can you not like giant? Like, who is not gonna buy giant robot merchandise? Like, Gundam was a thing. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think about this. You got Gundam was a thing.
Gundam was indeed a thing back then.
Like,
Yeah.
Now even
why
back
would you
then,
think
when-
giant Power Rangers? Do they not? What? Okay, I'm done.
I see your point. But you know what is really messed up? The most memorable episode of that series is not like the fighting. It was just like one part where the actual robot that disguised himself as this big giant nerd, he was like on a study date with this girl.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, like, she turns the music on and starts twerking. I'm like, what?
Quick, roll it around. And you know what's funny? I remember when I first met Maurice, and this show came on. I remember I don't know. Okay, my fault. This wasn't Maurice. It was another friend. It was another friend of mine named Steven. I remember calling Steven, and I remember saying in these words, "Are you watching this?" Did they actually put this on a cartoon for kids to watch? Because this for everybody on the show who's not hip to Symbiotic Titan. First of all, go and get a fucking education. Two, the show the part that we're talking about, this girl is twerking. And it's not like, oh, the innocent twerking or like an image of twerking. No, she's
going in.
They had their best animators on this. They created a unique song for the occasion, and it lasts for a total of about 3 minutes. This girl was going in. The girl did everything but give the dude a lap dance.
Basically.
Like, it was
and that slow movement of the paper with her foot, just that ended it. I'm like, okay, Cartoon Network. They're scared about Steven Universe, but they okay.
I just it's one of those things where it's like it's a shame, almost to the level of how Samurai Jack ended without getting a proper ending. For me, it's on the Symbiotic Titan is on the same level, and there's not really a good chance of Gendy ever coming back to that because it had a really really niche audience. It wasn't like beloved by everybody like Samurai Jack was or like Hey Arnold was. uh, P.S. Hey Arnold is also coming back later this year.
Really?
So, yeah,
As a movie or a series?
it's going to be a movie. They're going to just give you a proper ending.
Okay.
Kind of like what Samurai Jack did.
There was like much of a storyline.
But yeah, and it's really sad because Symbiotic Titan it had so much potential. It was animated really well. In fact, but right behind Gravity Falls, I want to say that's probably the second. But damn, they're probably on the same level. Symbiotic Titan was animated really well. You could just tell that everything that Gendy learned from Dexter's Lab, from Powerpuff Girls, from Samurai Jack, from the Star Wars cartoon, all of that came into play in this one show. All of that knowledge, all of that experience, it was right there, and Cartoon Network pulled the plug. And I'm like, ugh. It was a sad day when I figured that out. Shout out to Gendy Tartakovsky, by the way. That's the greatest of all time. I think he actually left Cartoon Network off of that. So the guy who basically built Cartoon Network, he said, nah, but you're not gonna cancel my show like that. I'm not leaving.
I ain't going down like that.
All right, Maurice, number 2, or Jared, number 2.
I'll go. It's kind of I'm kind of mad, you know, when you have the same as someone else. So my number 2 was actually Kids Next Door, and I know, and it's like a lot of what Flo said is basically how I feel about it. Like, you know, the damn, what's that word? Not damn it. Oh, anyway, it's just the weapon designs were extremely unique. Some of it didn't make sense. Like the one where it's like a magnet with like some wooden planks that's supposed to spank you. That made absolutely no sense when I look back on it. But it was fucking amazing when I was a kid. And I wanted one, so I don't care. And stuff like fucking water bottle or like soda bottles with like mustard squirters that shoots laser beams. I'm like, how the hell does this make sense now that I look back on it? But it was fucking amazing, you know. Like all the characters were memorable. I mean, number 3, I still to this day don't know what the fuck she was supposed to like be special at. Anyway, she loved rainbow monkeys.
I think she's the secret weapon.
She loved rainbow monkeys. She damn sure loved them rainbow monkeys.
Rainbow monkey.
Oh yeah, she did. You know what? She had a temper too.
Oh,
It's like when she got mad, she went ham.
Like number 4 was even scared, but then again, number 4 was kind of scared of a lot of things except for stuff that he couldn't punch. Yeah, and also I want to give a shout out. Like, yo, who? All right, be honest. You would have definitely wanted to live in that fucking treehouse as a kid. Like, come on now,
bro. I don't think
like those tree houses were fucking lit, dog.
It also seemed like they never went home either.
I mean, actually, that treehouse is like right next to number 1's house.
I think the treehouse was on top.
It was number 1's house.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. It was his house. Son, can you imagine that? Like literally, you have a tree spouting the size of a skyscraper, literally just on your roof. Like, what do you do?
You just hanging out with your friends at 10 years old. You don't have to go back to your parents. Yeah, that's it pretty much was the dream.
Cracking the cold.
Yeah.
And
you
go ahead.
I was gonna say like remember, but they didn't enjoy it long. Like as soon as they were teens, they had their memories erased.
Oh yeah, what was it? The
decommissioning process.
Yeah,
decommissioning process. Probably 86 or something. Yeah, she was annoying. I mean, she got cool at the end, but she was just hella annoying.
Yeah.
Who?
It was like the
Scottish
redhead with freckles.
Yeah.
I know he's talking about.
She was in charge of like the whole K and D.
No. She was in charge of like the decommissioning. Number 3.
Yeah, that was her thing.
The blonde one was in charge of like the whole K and D shit. But yeah, that shit got deep after like, you know, a couple of seasons. Like they started these dudes were on the like, son, you got 10-year-olds HQ'd on the fucking moon. like what?
Where are their
Oh yeah,
parents?
they did.
Headquartered on the moon, and I'm just like, when they wouldn't like these kids like back in like prehistoric times. They're like, oh yeah, they founded the moon base and shit. I'm like, what?
Excuse me?
I look back on it and I'm just like, yo, this was fucking crazy, but I fucking loved it. I loved every bit of it.
Bro. All right, Maurice, number 2.
Static motherfucking Shock.
Okay. Wait a minute. When did that come out?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on.
It was a little after 2000.
Google.
It was that might have been.
I think
was
Static
when it
Shock
was
was
on,
a. I think you may have missed it by a year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
Came out 2000.
Oh, 2000.
2 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
I'm gonna need y'all,
So
It was
I'm-
still in his
I'm gonna need y'all to like look up your shows, please. I can't be the only one doing this here.
I looked up
I
the
mean,
shows.
I
and just
did my research.
I swore I saw Static Shock.
Well, I knew it off the dome piece, but anyway,
Excuse me.
yeah, the research people, research.
Okay.
Come on, get with it. It's supposed to be professionals.
the hell told you that?
Right. Professional? That sounds like work.
Okay. Anyway, why did you pick Static Shock, Maurice? And
Static
don't say
Shock.
he has dreads. I swear to
Much
God,
like-
he said he has dreads. I swear to God, if it's just because he has dreads, I swear to God.
Much like the Power Ranger in SPD, the red one specifically, it's because he had dreads. It was amazing. No, but the real reason was because I feel as though, and I'm going into woke status right now, so Flanora will be proud of me and Andre will be tired of me. Much like the Boondocks, Static Shock was an important show for minorities, or not even just black people, for minorities in general, because it was like the first time we got a black character in a hood setting that like actually told like, you know, believable stories. He wasn't like the typical nigga, you know. He had, I don't want to say ghost
Even
aspirations, but he had
they
like,
kind of went through typical nigga situations though. But
true, but the character himself was just like, it was kind of like us, like a geek in this type of situation, or someone who doesn't like, you know, bang like that, gang bang. Got a little hood right there. I'm sorry
But
for that.
he got his powers from gang
Yeah.
banging.
Okay, but remember, it was from an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it? It was just like, what was it called? Like the
The
big,
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
yeah, the
But he
Big
wasn't-
Bang.
But
He was just
start off as like a gangbanger. He was kind of just like bullied into that.
He was
like,
there.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
But he was bullied into showing up there. Like he didn't have a choice.
True.
Yeah.
Um.
I don't.
And not to mention-
I'm not trying to shit on Maurice's parade because I absolutely love Static Shock as a kid. I really, when it comes to the WB, I don't think there was another show that I watched more than Static Shock. But Static Shock still had this thing that kind of annoys me today with the whole, oh, he's black, so let's put these dumbass typical black issues that apparently every black man has gone through, like gang violence and guns and
But it
drugs.
But that was the purpose of the Static comic. Like, who was the original creator? It wasn't DC. It was somewhere else. It was like Milestone. So it's from like a black publishing company. So it was the whole point of it was to address issues that were going on in the black community.
Not to mention,
And it's like, oh, we
Boondocks did the same fucking
Yeah.
shit, especially with the New
Right.
Orleans incident. Their stuff was like way more current though than Static Shock's was.
It was
Right.
more of making fun of those situations, but I guess I can see your point.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying like, hey, it was almost like a PSA the way Static Shock was doing it. The Boondocks did it in a way that was a little bit more smart. But I'm not putting it in on the side of Boondocks because
Okay.
Boondocks had the flexibility to do that. Static Shock probably couldn't do it the way the Boondocks did, clearly.
Okay,
But
but I mean, just skip off of that because that's not why I like the show because of the PSA stuff.
yeah, of course. And
Yeah,
I'm
but,
just saying that it's just something that I noticed
No, I hear you.
while rewatching.
Okay. So the cameos in this show were godlike too. They had the Batman animated series group. Superman was in there at one point. The Justice League was in there, and they had all these different the team ups with Static Shock. So it's got it got really funny, really great episodes just from like, you know, reprising those voices like Kevin Conroy's Batman. I think the original Justice League cast was
Wait. You said Kevin Conroy's Batman. You mean Batman?
Yeah, I meant Batman. My bad.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Yeah, cool. All right, cool. Let's put that up.
Anyway, also we had Green Lantern, and they also did a crossover with Batman Beyond too when he went to the future.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they really integrated him into like the DC comic universe.
Yeah, I wish they did it a little bit more because, like, he got a comic not a little bit more, but I just wish certain things didn't happen. Much like Symbiotic Titan, Static's like career was kind of short, especially in like the comics. Like the comics had like a really good start off in 2011, and I think that was based on like the hype that it got from the 2000 that we
licensing issues. It was dealing with licensing issues because like DC didn't create Static Shock. It was Milestone.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they use Static Shock, it was like they had to pay Milestone Comics.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like they wasn't really willing to do that because there was questions like, okay, is this going to be a really marketable character? Even though Static Shock has like, I feel like Static Shock does have like a strong fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess DC kind of disagreed with that because like there have been several times where like Static Shock was supposed to appear like in Justice. He was supposed to appear in Justice 2, and that got pulled.
I know.
Because they would have had to pay Milestone money. And I'm just like, I'm so...
Yeah, he's there in the game, like his model is at least, but I don't think they're gonna like make him DLC anytime soon either.
But I thought, is he like a playable character though?
No,
they just put like a story.
He has a character model, and that's it. There's a character model on the disc of the game with like a fully fleshed out. Well, I don't think it's fully fleshed out, but it's an image of what Static would look like in the game, and there's nothing else. No set.
That's not good enough.
Yep, and they're even adding in another electric character that's not going to be Static. It's going to be Raiden.
Is it Black Lightning?
Raiden. It's going to be Raiden.
Who?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Raiden. Okay.
Raiden.
Oh.
Well, it's Raiden because it's
Hey guys, I'm jumping out.
All right, see ya. Thanks for joining.
No problem.
Mhm.
Good night.
Bye, Pam.
Bye, Flo. See ya, Andre.
Peace.
I gotta ask, Mr. Merritt.
Shut up. That's my dad, by the way, but not me.
Sorry.
Both your last names is Merritt. Holy shit.
You just realizing that?
Yes.
Oh, night, night.
No relation though.
See ya.
Or maybe, I don't know. Our family kind of deep.
True. Yeah, so Static Shock was just like a really important comic for minorities. I feel like definitely deserves a slot 2 on any top 5. Not slot 2, but it deserves a top something because it was just really that good. Very consistent, concise episodes.
Okay. So, are we finally here? Is this it? Is this the moment everybody's been waiting for?
The number one.
Everybody's number one favorite, best of all time modern cartoon.
Can I go first?
I want to go first.
I want to go
Oh
first
my
because
God.
mine has already been picked.
What? Mine has already been picked too.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta do a Google search. Because I think I might have cheated again. I just have to double check. I cheated once, I don't want to cheat again.
Okay. Anyway.
I mean, somebody... Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway. My number one is Steven Universe. What I'm trying to figure out is... Maurice, you let me down, by the way. What I'm trying to figure out is... What is more important than Steven Universe? when Maurice said number 5, I'm like, okay, that's Maurice. But somebody put it at number 3. I'm like, what in the world?
Like, I explained to you my reason.
Why are you so hurt?
Because Steven Universe is probably the most important cartoon ever. Ever.
The reasons you might like Steven Universe are also the reasons you might like Adventure Time if you watched a little bit longer.
Okay. Okay. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Uh, it'll be
Okay, we're good.
it'll be hard to. Wow. Oh, didn't cheat again, there, boy. You only get one.
I only get one. I'd probably gotten shot if I cheated again.
Right, but yeah, you heard my pick, right?
Yeah, Steven Universe.
Yeah, Steven Universe. Like what? From the characters, the character development, the music, the songs, the animation, the art style. I don't like the fact that it goes in like the half episode things. That kind of annoys me sometimes. But
The hiatus. Sorry.
no,
It's not really a hiatus.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. It's not.
It
They're
is
still
a
pumping
hiatus.
out
She just
episodes
says,
and
I'm
still
going to take a
working.
month or 2 months off and not make another episode.
Usually when
Yeah,
she
and I
comes
think-
back, we always get like a week worth of. We already get like a month worth.
And
But
then we
it's
go on
still
a-
hiatus.
Then we go on,
It's
then
not
we go on
hiatus.
another hiatus.
Son, season 6 or 7 just ended. Y'all need to chill.
We're on season 5.
Season 5 just ended. Y'all need to chill.
Season 5 did not just.
You
end.
do,
Was that the one with
you
Lars?
do know.
Is that the one with Lars getting his powers, right?
Yeah, but that's
That's
still
the
like
end.
midway in the season.
That's the end of the season.
At the end of the season.
That's the end of the season.
All right, can I quote you on that?
Yes.
Because the season 5 just started.
Just started.
Season 4 ended, and season 5 picked up like literally within like the same week.
I don't think you can go off. Season 2 or season 3 was very, 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 very short after season 1. Season 1 was like 52 episodes. Then it went to season 2. Season 2 had like 5 to 10 episodes. I know it's a wide range, but it's between that number. And then it went to season 3.
Oh my god, he's googling so fast.
But
Like I could just see.
it's more of the. I think it's the wait time that we get between new episodes. I swear to God, there was one time, I think it was 2016, I think, where we damn near went the entire year without more new Steven Universe.
I mean, that's not.
That's not what?
That's not something that's not happened before. But it doesn't mean it went on hiatus.
It's the fact that it keeps happening. She keeps doing like these pauses within seasons.
It's not that bad. At least
It is kind of that bad.
It's not like
I mean,
Hunter x
if
Hunter,
anything-
where it's like no one's working on it. I believe she's working on it as we go through these long.
I mean,
periods
she
of
kind of
years.
delivers when it comes to when she gives these episodes, like when the touchy episodes versus like the random adventures episodes. It's just the time it takes. It's just annoying, Yeah,
Yeah.
you want your product to be good. You want every episode to be memorable. You want every song to be good. You want the new gem or the new character to be revealed to be good. But
Oh,
Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah, it's like those. She'll give it, and it's the fact that she just gives it to us all at once. It's like, okay, here's 5 episodes within like 2 days. All right, so you're
Wait,
good for like
let me
6
pause
months,
you.
right?
Let me
What?
pause you for a sec. Yeah, I was wrong. It's actually 25 episodes after 1, then 26, then 25 again, and that we're not even midway through. We're just starting. 5.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My bad.
It's weird, and I don't know whether that's Rebecca Sugar or Cartoon Network.
But
'Cause
these
if-
air dates though.
Air dates are weird.
Okay.
I don't think those air dates are accurate. They may be going off of when it aired off of Cartoon Network itself, but I don't know. That's not the point. I'm
we
getting
got-
sidetracked.
Okay, so this is a little weird. So let's hear this out. January 8th, first episode, season 3. May 12th, same year, for second episode. Then it went. Oh, we got 2 episodes in that one day. Then the 19th, we got 1 episode. The following week was
That sounds about
1
right.
episode. The week after that, 1 episode. Next month, another episode.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's not that. It's not that
Did-
bad though. I don't know.
What do you mean? That's not that bad.
She
You
gives us
start
the-
off
How are
the
you
season,
saying
and
that?
then you go weeks without showing the second episode of the season.
But we get these nice little
Like,
bursts.
if
of
the
Steven
show wasn't
content.
good, that show would be dead by now.
Right.
True.
I think to me, I think it's better for it to give the creators time to actually do something good instead of rushing them because you lack patience.
But I don't think it's the
I mean,
creators. I think it's Cartoon Network itself. That's just doing these extremely dumb air times. Because to give you an example, if you would remember, Korra kind of did the same thing. The Legend of Korra,
Which
when they would actually
season?
air the episodes on
Which season?
on Nickelodeon before pulling the plug and just airing everything online, it had these really weird air dates. It was like, all right, here's season 1. We're gonna go like 2 years without season 2, and then we're just like, I don't even think they showed the ending of the finale of season 2 on Nickelodeon itself. So Korra kind of followed the same route.
Remember that. I remember season 3 is when they just went strictly to online. But you probably are forgetting what season 2 was, and you think season 3 was season 2.
The first Avatar won, and the whole Bravo situation, which was extremely stupid.
You talking about Legend of Korra? Or you talking about Avatar?
The Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra.
Legend
what
of
was
Korra.
season 2 about?
Yeah. Brava and Batu, Dark Avatar.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it was kind of a bad season, which is probably why you don't remember it.
No, I do remember.
The Avatar.
No, I remember it. I was making sure you remembered it.
Oh, I remember it because
Okay.
it was a dumb season.
All right.
But anyway, back to
episodes one
Steven
day.
Universe.
No, season 2 seems like it had a pretty consistent run. Or
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I don't remember. I remember all the seasons having a pretty consistent run. There was a weird time, and I think this was season 3, maybe 4, where they just finished the show online because nobody was watching it, was tuning in to view it. They literally came out and said like, yeah, since all of our viewers seem to like watching online better than actually watching when it's on the show, we're just gonna post all the stuff online because we're not making any money off the views.
At least I'm just glad they didn't cancel it. Which I kind of feel that Cartoon Network is starting to get a little bit tired of Rebecca Sugar. That's just me because I just can't justify these weird times that they're showing these shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we all know that it goes by like, all right, here's Stephen Bomb 1, Stephen Bomb 2, Stephen Bomb 3. Well, that's not exactly the best way for viewership because let's face it, it's still a kid's show. You're going to lose a majority of these kids if you have like all of these episodes just pouring in, and nobody has time to watch it because you're a kid. You're not gonna sit there and binge like 4 hours worth of Steven Universe. You're just not gonna do that. And if you watch it online, well, you're not getting the numbers that you need for like advertisement, and shit needs to be paid. It all comes back to money. So yeah, I'm actually hoping that Rebecca Sugar kind of ends Steven Universe within this season or the next season, because I just can't see this trend going on too much longer. You can't keep on doing this to fans, to the kids. I'm pretty sure the kids have long forgotten about Steven Universe at this point. It's pretty much just nerdy adults like us that's probably in love with Steven Universe right now, because it's not consistent. As good as the show is, and I still believe it's the best show on anything period right now. You just can't keep on doing it. And that's my 2 cents on Steven Universe. I didn't really go into why I like the show, but
it was more than 2 cents. That was a full $1.
There was a full
damn. I was gonna say about 75 cents, but she said a whole $1 though.
Yeah, cause I didn't really go into why I like Steven Universe, but it's all good. I just wish a little bit more consistency was. It doesn't seem like they have a plan or a roadmap. And if I want to be very honest with myself, the overarching story is kind of like stretching itself out a little bit. Like Jesus Christ, we just went the spoiler alert. We just went the home world, and Steven just gets away scot-free. Like he's literally facing the diamonds, like the main antagonist of the show, the all-powerful diamonds. And he just gets away. Like I'm not sure where else.
I don't see how that's bad per se, because I can't think of the name of whatever show I watched, but I'm pretty sure that's happened numerous times on several different occasions.
Okay,
Like,
I
in
can
the first
and I can
season.
give you that.
Okay. Oh wait,
I
I got one.
I can give you that.
Legend
It's
of
just that
Korra got
I
away from the
think
bending
that
dude
there's
in the first
huh?
season. No, like the Legend of Korra got away from the bending dude in the first season, even though he had her dead to rights.
Okay, and I can give you that, but it still feels like they're stretching this particular storyline out.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, I don't know. I'm kind of hooked into it because now it's just like, oh, it's not just a battle between Steven Universe and the Diamonds. It's like, okay, maybe Rose Quartz didn't do what they think they did, and it's now it's come like a real mystery or like a twist or a traitor type situation. So,
it's Yellow
I
Diamond.
mean,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure at this point it's Yellow Diamond. They pretty much confirmed that with the last couple episodes.
They did.
Yeah, I think Yellow Diamond did something.
yeah.
But and we can move on right after this. I'm trying to figure out. There's one thing they haven't really explained is I think it's, for me it's the biggest mystery. What's up with Blue Diamond and her and the fact that she can like project her feelings onto people? Because I think that's really important.
I
going
don't think
forward.
that's her projecting her feelings. I think that's Steven's a power. 'Cause
Like
he did the same
Steven has
thing
just
with
always been able to
Mars.
empathize.
Yeah.
But
Like it's just how he is. It's just
but
like he understands where people come from and he wants to try to fix it.
but in that
Or
last episode, when like I think it was the trial, when Blue, who was also like Best Diamond, by the way, when Blue started crying, everybody started crying. It wasn't just Steven. Yellow Diamond started crying. The lesser gem started crying. All the gems started crying. But what if Yellow Diamond could like do something similar to that, and that's how Pink Diamond got shattered? I'm just throwing shit out there, but that exactly has to been explained, and I think that's going to be like a major plot.
But that wouldn't explain why no one saw who did it. Because if she could manipulate people to kill
Exactly.
Diamond, then she would just put the blame on that person who did it. I don't think she made anyone do it. And as we've seen, Rose doesn't have the move list to do it.
Right. What if Yellow Diamond made? What if Yellow Diamond made Rose Quartz do that? Which would make sense because she's like trying to cover up.
No, she doesn't have the equipment to do it. Like, what is she gonna use?
They could write something.
No.
They can write something.
I think it's like the simpler answer is just Yellow Diamond did it, and then she just tried to blame it on somebody else.
Yeah, but who?
Yeah.
Nobody saw it though.
So
I mean, if Yellow Diamond is willing to take out, what was it, Pink Diamond? Who going up against her?
Blue Diamond?
Exactly. It's just like,
Blue
oh
Diamond?
yeah.
Blue Diamond, White Diamond, maybe.
Okay, but the
Like
underlings that were with Pink Diamond, like
the underlings that were under Pink Diamond.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's like this
they were
theory.
the only other witness.
There's like this theory that says like the whole diamond hierarchy thing, because they and I'm really reaching into it because this is just a theory. If you look on like they went to like Pink Diamond's more spaceship thing, and they showed the 4 diamonds coming together making one diamond. The Pink Diamond was at the bottom. The Blue Diamond and the Yellow Diamond were on the same level, and the White Diamond was at the top. So I guess it's kind of like a hierarchy amongst diamonds. Maybe Pink Diamond, she is a diamond, but maybe she was more of a lesser diamond. And I can link you the video because I can't really explain it in full because they go into, well, they colonize this many planets and that's why they get this hierarchy, and maybe if they fuse they become White Diamond or some shit like that. They go into it with these theories. But yeah, I think you mentioned that, well, what if somebody saw, well, what the hell is keeping Yellow Diamond from just killing everybody that was there who did see it? Like
because she has some other great, I don't know what her plan is.
I mean, you said it, not me. Anyway, yeah, Steven Universe, #1, greatest cartoon of all time so far.
Even though he shat on it for like the first 20 minutes of that.
I mean, I can't be blind.
I mean, he was more shitting on Rebecca.
Yeah, you didn't really say why you liked it.
Because I didn't have time. I didn't have time.
Yes, you did. You could easily say like, I love Steven Universe because
I
dot
love
dot dot.
Steven Universe because Steven isn't a typical. I want to say I'm gonna say shonen because that's the easiest way without me getting really into depth to it. Because Steven isn't like the typical shonen male hero. Steven Universe actually kind of like they don't use the fact that he has feelings as a weakness or this is a bad thing. They rate the show in a way that says, yeah, you're feeling these things, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And in fact, he uses those feelings as his biggest strength. Pretty much, he has the Luffy effect, where everyone he meets, he either makes them good again, he heals them, or he makes them come to his side or make them see the light in some form or fashion.
Talk
Perfect
no
example.
jutsu.
Basically, yeah, talk no jutsu. You Lapis Lazuli was evil, quote unquote. Then she saw her senses. Peridot was also evil. She came to her senses. I want to say that Blue Diamond might be next, but that's kind of pushing it.
Yes and no.
I think that's
so.
Sapphire. No, it wasn't a Sapphire. What was that? It was the one with the tear on her next to her eye. I think she's next, probably.
Oh, what's her name?
Good
The
old
annoying
so-and-so.
one with Topaz.
Yeah, I remember Topaz's name, but not her.
Because it's easy. Aquamarine.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I actually don't like that character.
I like Peridot, but then Peridot was like funny as hell when she turned good.
Yeah, but I don't. True.
All right. Does anyone else have one that wasn't picked? For that number
I do.
You do? Fenora?
Flo, for some reason, I feel as though we might have the same number one. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Let's see.
Well, my number one is Teen Titans.
Ooh.
What?
Missed it. That wasn't my number one.
Just
Okay.
It didn't break top.
So-
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold up.
2003. 2003.
No. 2003. I'm not disagreeing with you. Oh, what the hell you mean Teen Titans isn't your number one?
Because
After all the bullshit that we went through, Teen Titans isn't in your top 5.
Only because like I thought it came out before 2002. Like I could have sworn, I don't know why I was thinking like it was early 1999.
You didn't bother to look it up.
Because all the other ones came up. You know what? Stop judging me.
No, I'm judging you, but I'm sorry for interrupting your turn, Jared. But yeah, all this Teen Titans Go is an abomination. It's the worst thing ever. Blah blah blah. And then we would say, oh, what's one of your favorite cartoons from after 2002? Teen Titans doesn't even break the list. Are you serious?
I have Young Justice.
So Young Justice is more important than Teen Titans.
Yeah, because I think it was actually better.
I'm about to write the Cartoon Network. Yo, we need a Young Justice Go right now. Come on.
No.
A Young Justice Go.
Need it.
Ew.
All right, Jared.
Exactly.
But
Teen Titans.
Right,
but Teen Titans, it's the best, like the easiest way I could sum it up is like it's kind of a little bit more than just your average, fun and hilarious cartoon that you can just sit down and laugh, and a lot of what we said isn't. But this one to me, it's just like, so much background with these characters. The whole point of Slade, even doing what he wants is because he wanted Robin as an apprentice. We just at first I thought this dude was just some fucking weirdo who just like blowing shit up and making fun of these dudes. But no, he's just like, nah, I want an apprentice. Went to Terra. Terra said, nah, fuck that. I'm not about this life. Beast Boy in love with Terra. Cyborg. See, it's so much different than Teen Titans Go. Like Cyborg and Beast Boy were just literally Jackass 1 and 2 on fucking Teen Titans Go. Cyborg is literally the super genius that can figure out anything. Yeah, Booyah kind of got annoying at a certain point to me personally, but just the fact that he made a car, he made a car from hand.
I want to
All right, let me say that one more. He made a car by hand. not bought it, not told people how this dude made the car.
It's funny because
Right.
it's actually illegal.
Wait,
Okay,
that's
that's not the
damn.
point.
No, seriously, you
no
cannot.
data.
Okay.
You can't make cars, babe. You can't make cars. You're independent. Hell no.
So there was like the whole waifu wars between Raven, Starfire, Terra, Jinx, long-haired Raven all day.
Can I add to
Sorry.
that real quick? Like
Right.
kind of like a
Same.
subsection.
What's up?
So one of the reasons why I think that actually deserves a number one slot is because there is so much porn of Raven, Starfire, and Jinx, son. Like
Oh my
literally,
God.
like to get to
That's-
Tumblr to become a porn artist, you gotta make Raven from Teen Titans, and you gotta do some weird shit too. That is a staple. Like every single like artist that does like hentai drawings and shit, they always have a Raven one. They always. It may not be online, but it's somewhere in their like their databank somewhere.
Okay, that's not a reason for it to be number one.
That is a when people
It is
love
it is a reason, but
that's
it's
what
not.
the storyline, the interesting characters.
yes,
like,
that's that because of the interesting character of Raven. That's what spawned off so much porn. That's you're not seeing these connections.
Yes, sir.
How do we why do we always get to porn? It just seemed like in the last couple of podcasts, it's just like whatever we're talking about, it just steers the porn.
No, it
It's a
doesn't.
life.
How?
Well, to be honest,
Why? Okay, but that was because that happened. Like that actually happened in the cartoon.
Okay, and this actually happened, not in the cartoon per se, but it happened, and it's important to note because this is one of those cartoons where it was an abundant amount. Like I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't so much.
He's got a point.
He does have a point with this guy.
Like everything we've named so far has Rule 34, but nothing is as big of a Titan as Raven from Starfire. I mean, Raven from Teen Titans. Raven from Starfire. Oh my god. There's just nothing.
I mean, she was the strongest out of all of them.
That can be debated, but.
I mean,
All right, so who do you think is stronger than Raven? Starfire?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Marie said who has more porn on the internet. My bad. Never mind.
Oh, no. I said Raven's the strongest Titan.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven's a demon. Yeah, I gotta agree.
And I think she has the more interesting storyline anyway. She's a hero, but yet her father. She's a hero, but her father is like basically the devil.
Yeah.
The Demon King Trigon.
Mhm.
Son, can we talk? Like, that was a 3-part episode, bro. I loved every single bit of that 3-part
Yeah.
episode.
Trigon was almost as broken as Father was from Kids Next Door.
Oh my God.
Not quite, but
He was
almost
close.
there.
He was close. Okay, can I say my number one? Because mine already got picked. And I don't think for no
Okay, yeah, I want to hear this. What? Because we've been talking about Steven Universe for a while in chat, so I want to know what is your number one.
My number one. It's already been said. My number one's Kim Possible. Okay, there are reasons why, all of which have gotten said before. So I'm just gonna reiterate with short points. This show broke stereotypes. This show had very interesting characters. This show had progressions of those interesting characters. So even though the side characters were like weaker, even though like Ron was a side character, right? He still got like power ups. He got character development. He grew as a person. He was completely different from where he first started to what he is now. And they also, another good thing about the show was that it had is it continuity the right word, or it just had like a progressive story, like, you know, things that happened in the previous episode, like when Ron had like $99 million from Nakos, that, you know, that gets referenced like later on in the series and stuff like that. So, and when he created that, him creating the Nako was like in the story as of itself, and it kind of like got brought back up through
a nickel for every Nako. So.
Taco meets Nacho. I call it the Nako.
The Nako.
So this was like I said, this is the reason I didn't put Steven Universe higher is because a lot of the shows that I named did what Steven Universe is doing now, and I'm glad Steven Universe like in some, to me, it seems like it just draws from the good things about those different cartoons. But I don't feel comfortable putting it as number one when all these other ones came before it. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's reinventing the wheel, but I gotta pay respect to the nigga that gave me the fucking wheel in the first place.
Right.
Right.
And we haven't even talked about the Mo rap. I just love.
Oh my, yo, Rufus was that nigga, yo. I'm sorry. Rufus was my homie. Yo.
Rufus was black.
Give a shout out to my man Rufus, yo.
Yes.
Side character of the century.
Yo, shout out to Rufus, yo. He was the MVP. I don't care. My man was saving them. He literally has saved. Like if Kim didn't do it, Ron didn't do it. Guess who did it?
Rufus.
He
killed the clone, the synthetic clone in the movie.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. Rufus was
A little dude holds a grudge.
Yeah.
Little dude holds a grudge.
Yo, Kim Possible was a dope cartoon, and it was like out of all of those things, Kim Possible was like the first show to do like all of those things, like literally
right.
everything.
Dedicated the whole
and you have Wade
rap song to that.
Right.
Man.
Oh yeah. Right. What is
like
that naked thing? Are you supposed to continue?
No, we're not continuing.
Yeah.
Kim Possible is literally the reason why I specifically said 2002. Because guess what year Kim Possible came out?
Was it 2002?
Yeah. Yes, it was 2002.
Making it, boys.
But yeah, when I said that day, it was like, yo, we gotta put Kim Possible in there because there's just no way you can't put it. It's like the first cartoon that kind of like modernized everything. It was there wouldn't be a Steven Universe, a Symbiotic Titan, the Gravity Falls, all of these jive progressive shows if it wasn't first for Kim Possible. Kim Possible was so good. It got a 4th season from Disney. No cartoon besides Phineas and Ferb has ever done that. Period. on Disney Channel. None. And as we all know, Disney is animation at this point. And they had a rack of cartoons. None of them went past the 3rd season. So that's just a testament to Kim Possible and how great a show it was.
Yeah.
That fourth season wasn't all that good though.
Yeah, it seemed a bit rushed at the end.
As much
the relationship was kind of awkward at times too.
Yes, thank you, son. It just didn't really mesh well. It was like some episodes I'm going, so are they together? And then other episodes I'm going, their relationship is kind of cringeworthy when they start to talk about like feelings. And I don't know. It was weird. They focused on their friendships so well when they went to like their relationship status. It was like they didn't know what to do.
Maybe that was on purpose, but that's just me trying to live in a perfect world.
They said that they didn't want to focus on the whole they've broken up and now they're back together. They didn't want to focus on that, but they could have showed them, being chummy, and they don't. And I counted. They don't kiss none but like twice in the 4th season.
True.
Yes, I did count.
We're glad
I'm serious. Like they kissed once. The one episode at the with the all powerful monkey. I think his name was Yono. And then once at the season finale of that of the 4th season where they finally graduate high school.
In the 4th season, never mind. No comment.
Yeah, so much for a relationship.
Sure.
Those niggas wasn't together. Ron probably cheated on her while Kim was away in college and shit.
With Bonnie, like shit.
Damn! Like, why couldn't you let me heavily after?
Long distance doesn't work.
You've clearly never seen Hunter x Hunter before, and I'll forgive you for that.
I want the show I'm sorry, I can't because it's always on hiatus. So
that's the joke. Next level.
What was that?
What was that? Good job, Andre.
Good job, Andre. Okay. Flora, what's your top one?
My number one has already been said. Boondocks. So, if you ever seen like any of my,
I literally just asked you, has it already been said? And you said no. You said no with confidence. I'm gonna need you
I
to
said
give me a reason.
no.
to
I
correct
said
right
I
now.
said it's already been said.
Did you guys hear that?
No, she was talking about my number one. Like I said, you know, we have the same number one. She's like, nah.
Okay. Okay.
What were you talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
No.
So Boondocks. So if you
But
actually
wait,
know
before
me,
you start, I predicted that you would pick Boondocks, by the way.
Almighty Andre.
I wish I could say I was swelling, but I said to myself, Flo is probably going to pick Boondocks or something like that, and lo and behold, Boondocks. I'm just saying. Not Teen Titans, Boondocks.
Anyway, if you know me, I have Boondocks on my phone, computer. Like I have the wallpaper there. But the reason I have it as my number one, we kind of touched on it a little bit, just like how it shows like I guess the range of different black people where you have Huey, the more woke and enlightened moral compass of the show. You have Granddad, who's a little old fashioned and traditional black person. Then we have Riley, who's the little more that has the hood mentality.
He's a nigga, just say
We
he's a
have
nigga.
Tom.
It's basically.
You have Tom, who, what's the okay, you know, based on Jay-Z's latest song, The Story of OJ, it's kind of like that whole range right there.
I wouldn't know, because I don't have.
Light nigga, dark nigga, real nigga, field nigga, rich nigga, old nigga. We probably reach our cap for saying the word nigga on this show now. So
Right.
It's in tribute to Boondocks.
Yeah.
Everything we've
So-
been doing is in tribute to Boondocks. I mean, in tribute to our
Right.
picks.
And Boondocks is just like I liked it because of its self-awareness. It wasn't just like addressing what was being done to the black community, but it's also dealing with like some of the internal problems that we deal with.
Mhm.
And it was just like it had no cut cards whatsoever.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't afraid to touch like on any topic.
Like Obama.
And it was just like very stern and honest. Like I think it was like the most memorable episode. I think it was like they had a couple of really good memorable
Obama.
episodes.
I
But
will never forget when this man is singing in the fucking rain in his pajamas.
Dog.
I will never fucking forget that. That man got neighbors to dance with him and shit. I'm like, yo.
You see the chest? You see the chest? Car. Let it be. Oh. Tom is that guy. I swear to God.
yeah, but I think the episode that I really like to remember, or I even used this episode when I was like in college and for my presentations. But it was like the R. Kelly episode.
Wait.
It was on trial.
Wait. What'd you get on that project?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
What'd you get on that
What?
project? What'd you get on the project that you used it for?
an A.
Oh.
Duh.
Damn.
So
Wow.
Oh,
Damn.
damn. She said,
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
hey, you expected anything less?
I'm hurt.
Yeah,
just gonna
'cause-
shut up.
anyway, it was the case where they had R. Kelly on trial, and it was just like Huey's speech at the end was just like, "Thank you." It's just like when you were just saying like, okay, there have been, you know, black people that have been convicted of a crime that they didn't commit, but R. Kelly isn't one of them. Like, this dude is guilty, and y'all are still on his side. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And then and then Riley jumps up and is just like, "Boo! Turn the music back on," and everybody just starts dancing to like an R. Kelly song again. And it was just like so real and honest. Like I just love Boondocks
Mm-hmm.
so much. But the only thing, like, I don't like the last season that came out because Aaron McGruder, he didn't write that.
No.
It's like I think he sold the rights to Boondocks, and then they tried to be like Boondocks, but it wasn't working.
I don't think he sold the rights. I think that he couldn't. Cartoon Network was just getting tired of Aaron McGruder shit. because I think he writes all of the episodes by himself with like nobody's help. Apparently, that takes a long
time because there were gaps in between seasons.
Yeah,
But
and Cartoon Network was like, "Yo, we need that fourth season," and I don't think it. To this day, I have not watched the fourth season of the Boondocks, and I remember wanting that for years as a kid, like years. I think it took like what? It was like a 4 year or 5 year gap between season 3 and season 4.
Yeah, but like here's the thing, like this is how season 4 started off. So apparently Granddad did the reverse mortgage thing and he was like bankrupt and everything, like they were about to be evicted. But then it was like he somehow put his family into slavery under Wexler.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty funny.
And it was just like that whole episode they were just doing the theme song from Good Times while explaining the lyrics to Good Times.
Hey, I might need to watch that episode because the lyrics for Good Times made no sense whatsoever. You know what? I'm watching that episode after this podcast.
Okay.
Hanging in a child line. Son, that what? What does that even mean?
The child line was like where people lined up to get free food. So that apparently that was a thing in the 70s.
It's funny because none of those shits was Good Times.
That was the
it's ironic.
It was supposed to be ironic.
Are you sure?
Yes.
They were mighty happy. Scratching and surviving. No, nigga, y'all can't eat. What the this is a good time? Can we rename the show? Life and Times in the Ghetto? I don't know. Rename it to something.
Okay. I don't.
Too on the nose.
Not even too on the nose. It just sound. Never mind.
I mean, we had not Good Times, but what's that other show that nobody liked? The Jeffersons. Oh God, The Jeffersons was terrible.
I remember
What?
that.
Okay.
But
okay. All right. You're like the only person I've ever met in our age group that likes The Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons was an important show because XYZ.
Yeah, because it actually showed like
Oh God, I was joking.
A black-owned business, and it actually made it to the top.
It wasn't funny.
They made it top. They made it top of the hill, man.
It wasn't funny.
But
was it funny, Flo?
it was some funny parts. But come on.
It was some funny parts. Damn, that means no.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. Well. No, go ahead. Continue.
Did everybody say their number one?
I think so.
Number one. Oh wait, Pam.
Did Pam say her number one?
Oh, she left.
I don't think Pam. She didn't. Pam didn't say her number one.
Let's all guess it.
I feel like she would have fucked up and said Hamtaro.
Wow.
I was gonna say Gumball, but okay.
That does seem like something she would say.
No, she doesn't like Gumball.
Okay.
Really?
No. She thinks she's
okay. So she liked Foster's. That
was a clutch ass pick. I forgot about Foster's.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Flapjack or Chowder.
Nah, not Flapjack.
Chowder, yeah.
That show was fucking twisted, yo.
Yeah, like at first I thought it was funny, and then I realized, oh, this is just really disturbing.
Like, son, I understand people have talent when it comes to drawing, but my guy, can we at least chill with the mental scarrings?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man.
It's like that thing that SpongeBob does, but like, what's the opposite of sparing? All the time.
Basically, I don't know. I mean, there's mercy and then there's no mercy.
Sure.
Wrath? I don't know.
No Mercy's a bad team, son. You don't want to play that comp.
Card Captor Sakura. There we go.
Card Capture came out in 1999, didn't it?
He also said Big O. Which I swear to God came out in like the 90s as well.
Yeah, I thought that too, actually.
Like we were saying, oh, but no, that's an anime. Well, it also came out before 2002. I'm not too sure why I didn't get that when she said it.
I was
but-
thinking it, but I just was focused on something else.
Let it go.
Yeah, I just let it go. Like, oh, we fucked up. That it's okay. But yeah, this was fun. This was a good experience. What did you guys think about it?
Yeah, that's a little mix up from talking about X-Men every single
Second
show.
mix ups. Hello.
Okay, so.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, mix ups. Yes, we KO'd our opponent. We got it perfect. There you go, son.
Perfect. All frame traps.
Right.
All day.
Didn't see that back two coming. Didn't know.
Oh, we didn't talk about Tekken, my guy. We definitely.
We need to talk about Tekken next show.
Okay. I mean, what's there to talk about? You ask, I play. I don't know.
Oh, damn. It's like that now?
Did that video help? Did that video help you, by the way? The one I sent you.
Huh?
That video help you, by the way?
It did a little bit. I still got to get. I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get that command to go. I need to practice it at home.
Yeah, you just get familiar with it. Like some commands feel weird to me too, still, but just try to practice it. Break it down as simple as possible. Like do it in parts and practice that, and then try.
Okay, quick question: did we end the show?
No, this is helpful.
Nah, Tekken is always a part of the show.
Always. Did you get that
Oh
memo?
my god!
I need to get a PlayStation and pick up Tekken.
I need you to get a PlayStation
So
and
we
pick up
can
Tekken as well.
shit on you in Tekken.
All right.
Oh, that's cute.
So,
okay, so you
y'all
never
really
seen me in
about to
fighting
talk about
games
Tekken
before.
this asses.
What?
Okay, first off, for the game.
Oh yeah, if I ever pick up Tekken, I'm definitely maining Lucky Chloe.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Son, yo, I don't care what anybody says, thinks, or feel. She legitimately styles on you. So she trips you up and fucking windmills your ass in the air. No one
Are
does
we
that.
talking about?
Lucky Chloe.
Let's not talk about her.
Son!
She's not as bad
She's
as
literally-
Eddie, but
No, son, she's literally styling.
Eddie's only bad
Like,
if your ass.
Eddie might just be using capoeira or whatever. I don't care. She's windmilling you. She's straight up windmilling you.
it looks like I need to pick up Lucky Chloe then.
Okay.
Go for it.
I do need a secondary.
Go for it.
But if
Yeah.
I pick up Tekken, I'm definitely maining Lucky Chloe.
I feel you.
That's right, Flo. This is a part of the show. Tekken. We always got time for Tekken. Goddammit.
Mm-hmm. Tekken's in the arcades too. You ain't got no excuse.
Right?
Okay.
You can still play Tekken too.
Right? No, they got no 7.
What?
Yeah. It actually, this Tekken has been out for 2 years.
Oh yeah, you're right. Why are we just not getting it again?
Because it comes out, the Tekken games come out on arcade in Japan first, and then they come out to consoles.
Wow. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine for me though, because we got like a hell of a lot more than they got with theirs.
Mm.
Yeah. But all right, that kind of wraps up our show today. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys give your people the closing statement. Oh shit, that was getting hard to talk.
Boondocks is life.
Okay, that's
Long hair Ray is Bay.
Ray is Bay.
Steven Universe is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Even with the hiatus.
Even with its god awful hiatuses, the glory still shines. Oh, honorable mentions. Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans.
You just had to put it in there, didn't you? You just had to like sneak that in.
Of course. Why wouldn't
I mean, you can't deny just the amazing design and the characters, how they were just so accurate. Animations are on. I'm literally barfing right now. I can't anymore. I'm sorry. I tried.
It's an abomination. It needs to die.
I don't know about that, but for real, an honest, honorable mention. I'm gonna give it to Spectacular Spider-Man. That was a show was so clutch.
Shocker.
Invader Zim.
Nice.
Oh, I was looking at that show.
Clutch, boy.
Here we go.
Call me.
Here we go.
I didn't really think of an honorable mention. Give me like I can probably think of one. I don't know.
Honorable mention. It'd be nice if we had thought about this earlier, because
It'd be nice if you guys had cartoons on your brain, like me and Andre, who just thought of
Right.
ours on the spot.
uh,
Get fucking
do I
Wow,
want
you really can't
okay,
think
wait.
of one.
No, Billy and Mandy, did that come out after 2002?
Yeah.
That's like the very
Whoa.
first. It was Grim and Evil that came out first. It was like Grim and Evil. Then you got, then it came to Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, I believe. 'Cause I remember Grim and Evil popping up on lists like 2002 and shit.
Yeah, either way, we'll give it to you. We need to think of another top 5 we can do. Maybe we can do everything before 2002, but
That seems a bit.
not before, like, say again?
That seems a bit ridiculous if you ask me. But okay.
How so?
I mean, maybe not so soon, but like after, like later, like down the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, maybe not like the next show, but one day. I kind of like the top 5 format that we have.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. Anyway, we can end the show.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Copy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.